Hey everybody, welcome back to the Help Action. We are here for episode 6 tonight, and we are all in our wonderful sweaters and holiday regalia. Thank you for joining us. We are a D&D live stream show where we play Dungeons & Dragons to raise money for charity. And to start us off and talk about which charity we are currently raising money for, Nero, if you would like to go ahead and start us off.
Hi, my name is Nero, as you might know. So if you've turned in previously, you probably know that our charity is the Transgender Law Center. As of 2018, the Department of Housing and Urban Development estimates that at least 553,000 people in the U.S. are houseless. 63 of those people are transgender. That's almost 350,000 people. One of the hardest things to access while you're houseless is legal help, whether for housing discrimination, employment discrimination, etc. The Transgender Law Center has a lot of programs that help combat these, which is extremely important during both, we're now in winter and in a pandemic, so consider donating so that they can help people.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, do what you can to help. There'll be links in the chat that go by, or you can go to thehelpaction.com to donate. And then tonight, in the spirit of the holidays, we will be doing a giveaway. Robin, take that away for us.
Yeah, so tonight at the break, we're doing another giveaway, giving away a digital copy of Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes.
Unique New York.
Unique New York. This is a big backstory on a lot of the devils and demons and other infernals in D&D. 120 new monsters introduced there, along with new subclasses. So if you're playing D&D and wanna,
go to hell,
mess around with some infernals. This is for you. We'll drop a code at the break, and you should be able to enter it in the chat just once, and we'll pick a winner when we come back from the break.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Just put your name in the chat when we talk about it, and we'll give you instructions later on. I think that's it for that. We have Tommy who's going to be talking about our schedule coming up, since we do have a little bit of some stuff going on.
Yeah, baby. So we are continuing on every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time for the next few weeks, but we will be having a break in our regularly scheduled programming on January 20th. So we will not be having a regular episode that day. And then the 27th, we're kind of still figuring out. We may have an episode, or we may be taking a little 2-week break there. But either way, we are hoping to either use that night to play some games. We were tossing around Overcooked, or any of the other classics, or Among Us, or something like that. What was some sort of Grinch game that we saw? I can't remember. But we're gonna figure out something else to do instead. Would love to, if people have ideas or want to participate, we'd love to hear about it.
Yeah.
So look out for some special programming on the 20th, and we will know as we get closer to that timeline whether 27th will be back or do another fun day.
Thank you. And then to let you know where you can keep track of all this stuff for social media, Iris, go ahead and get it going.
What's up, geeks and gamers? We have a Twitter account at The Help Action. You can follow us there. We also have a full-fledged website at this point, thehelpaction.com. You can head over there and find easy links to our charity, a little bit more information on us and our characters, and links to other social media stuff. You may recognize 2 tiny buttons at the bottom right of your screen right now, the heart and the bell. We would really love it if you followed our channel and if you rang that bell so that you know when we are broadcasting, because every time you tune in, that really helps us, And we'd also love it if you could tell your friends, because even if you don't have money to donate, like every time we stream or whatever, we're still kind of a baby stream, and we would love to grow a little bit more with an audience. So yeah, tell your friends, tell your family. If you're all doing a Zoom call or something right now over the holidays, say, hey, if any of you people like cool D&D podcast stream things, check this one out.
Visual podcast.
Visual live stream performance art by cool people.
It's like visual radio, see? It's television.
Show them a picture of the girl eating the bowl of cereal next to the poster of the people like laughing. Like it's like that. It's like you're
Just
there.
like that.
Awesome.
I am incredibly lost, but yeah,
Oh, it's so good.
please, obviously, donate to our charity. Keep an eye out for the giveaway at the break. Remember that we will be gone on the 20th, but we're here every single Wednesday. Seventh day, every seventh day.
Yeah, that's what we call that now.
Every Wednesday at 7 p.m. And then, of course, check out our website to keep track of all that. Without any further ado, I think we are all wrapped up, aside from warm holiday wishes to all of you and a big thank you for being here. We're going to go ahead and jump into our recap for the evening and get a little bit of an idea of what happened last time we were all together. So let me get some music going for us really quick, and we'll jump into that. Perfect. All right, so last time we met, the party had made their way to Phandalin finally and dropped off that cart full of supplies that they had been working to bring to the town for some time, despite losing their employer, who was Gundren Rockseeker absconded with and kidnapped and taken away somewhere far away. In their efforts to try to locate him and get a grip on what is happening in this small mountain town of Phandalin, they began to explore, and in doing so, being tipped off by some of the locals, made their way up the hill to this large manor house called Tresendar Manor that sits on top of the hill. Venturing inside its ivy-covered wrought iron gates, they made their way to the back of the house and found that the trail between the gates and the back of the house looked like it was fairly recently traveled, and by many sets of feet. They found that led into a basement entrance, wherein they found a large chamber that inside of it had a cistern full of fresh running water and crates full of supplies that all seemed like they hadn't been there for very long and were very much in use. Upon noticing a sound, the party snuffed out their lantern and waited, and did their best to stay quiet. And bursting in from a door and knocking over knocking over Bree came a few of these red-cloaked ruffians known as Redbrands, who seemed to be terrorizing the town of Phandalin in some strange grab for whether it be power, money, or just to keep the town under their heel. They did battle with them, were able to kill 2 of the 3 of them, and interrogate the last, finding out that ahead of them in this sort of basement below this manor house lie a set of jail cells in which there were some of the townsfolk that had been captured and were being held. But beyond that, and guarding it, were supposedly skeletons. The party made their way out of that room and allowed that individual to go free. We'll see how that turns out.
Okay.
I just like hammering that point home because they were telling me before we started playing how nervous they were about it, so nothing like a little salt in the wound. You made your way across a hallway which was trapped with a pit trap and had absolutely no trouble at all getting over it.
That's right. We had no trouble whatsoever.
That's right,
Yep.
of course. And then made your way through these large, ornate copper doors into what appears to be a mausoleum. Inside the mausoleum, the party was able to see 3 large sarcophagi on top, or laying against which were skeletons with their arms crossed, a sword in one hand, a bow in the other. Bree snuck forth and was able to pluck a sword out of one of their hands and without any sort of movement, the skeletons didn't seem to give any sign that they were animated, dangerous, or posed any sort of a threat. So the party advanced into the room, and in doing so, in some way, did trigger the mechanism that alerted them and awakened them. So now we begin we awoke. We begin today's session with the party. Go ahead and bring up the map here. Presenting. We go. Can everybody see that okay?
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we begin in this chamber with 3 skeletons that have just sort of risen from their sort of angled but still standing thing. Just for reference, the sarcophagi are vertical and not laid down here, as it is indicated. The one that you had stolen the sword from is number 1 there on the map. And with nothing else really to discuss here in the face of danger, let's go ahead and roll for initiative.
It's good initiative rolling music.
No, I'm gonna get some battle music going right now.
Don't do me wrong here. Oh, you did me wrong. That's going to be a 4 for me.
Oh, all right.
Alrighty, I will write those down just one moment.
I really love the spacious and scenic, big wide open battle stages we've had so far.
Yeah, they've all been just wide open spaces with plenty of room to move. Not at all challenging in that regard. All right, Ambrose, for initiative, what you got?
16.
3?
19.
Glass.
11.
Good rolls so far, that's good. Oleander?
4.
I spoke too soon. All right, so kicking us off at the very start, we have Bree with an initiative of 19. What do you want to do? You are right up in the face of one of these skeletons that's just sort of like risen up from the grave, and its mouth just sort of hangs ajar. They're covered in these sort of ragged iron scraps, and as it raises its, I guess it does not have a sword, as it pulls out its bow and knocks an arrow to it, about to fire. What do you want to do?
Oh boy, you about to fire point blank at me, dog? That's mean. I just pulled the sword out of its hand, right?
Yeah, you have a sword in one hand.
Okay.
Or its sword in one hand.
Its sword. I'm gonna take a swing at it with my short sword.
Alrighty, go for it.
Ooh! That's a big 9 to hit.
Big 9 to hit. Alrighty, let's see. As you pull your sword out, are you using your sword or the skeleton sword?
Mine.
Okay.
I threw the sword over my shoulder and
That's fine.
pulled out my own.
Perfect. You wheel bolt, strike down once. It does bounce off of one of its sort of shoulders, and it nicks a good chunk of bone off that clatters to the floor, and does not seem to cause any damage, though.
All right, I will take another swing because I can do that.
Go for it.
All right, that's a little bit better. That is a 21 to hit.
21 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll some damage on that.
All right.
This time you do slam into it, your sword sort of raking across the dry, brittle bones, sending a few of the scraps of the armor on it clatter to the ground.
That is 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage, nice.
I realized I could make it with one hand.
Software is being a little funky. Give me one moment. Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. Swing down once, swing down twice, second one finding purchase and cutting some of its armor from it. You do see that the sort of point of your sword seems to almost bounce off of the bones. There's not a lot of meat to cut into here.
Sure. Makes sense.
But with that, do you want to move or use your bonus action at all?
I'm going to stay right there.
Alrighty, it is now that skeleton's turn, and then Ambrose, you are on deck. You're next. So it is going to, yeah. Actually, since it only has a bow in its hand, it's going to try to. No, it won't.
No, it's not.
It's kind of pinned in there. Yeah, it'll just try to fire at you point blank with disadvantage.
Right.
Smart of you to not move.
Pinned in there. Disadvantage. That is an 11 to hit, which I do think misses you.
That will miss, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, the first one pulls up, fires at it, and being close enough to it, you're able to sort of smack its wrist, holding the bow out of the way. That is all it has for its turn. Ambrose, what would you like to do? Or stand over by those large copper doors, seeing all this happen.
I would like to cast Toll the Dead on this skeleton.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it needs to make a... What kind of save is that?
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw already. It is a natural 20.
Oh!
The skeleton is so smart!
Skeleton's so wise. It's the wisest of all skeletons.
It's just like,
It's huge.
I don't think that it takes any... It doesn't take half damage on a save, right?
It...
Cantrips, I think, usually not.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay. Yeah, as you cast the spell and you attempt to summon that bell to sort of knock it to the ground and deal some necrotic damage to it, and unfortunately, no, it just doesn't quite seem to go off. Would you like to do anything else on your turn?
If you could remind me, if I heal someone else, is that a bonus action?
Like with a potion?
A potion, yeah.
Drinking a potion yourself is a bonus action, but administering it to somebody else is an action. Normally, they're all an action, but I just like to house rule it to where if you're doing it yourself, it's a bonus action.
Okay. I'll stay where I am and brace myself.
Okay, perfect. Begin to brace yourself, and with that, Glass, it is now your turn, and then we've got a couple skeletons, and then you do Oleander.
Okay. Can I see... I guess since this skeleton has a bow and a sword, it is basically ready to attack with either of those?
It would have to sort of put it... It was sort of buried in a ceremonial position, so it would have to put one away in order to fire the bow, but it could just swing at you with the sword if it wanted to.
Okay, so it has its sword more ready. Or whatever. The question is like if I left its range right now, it would get a sword attack opportunity.
Correct. Yeah, they're both equal. It would be able to use either weapon.
Exactly. That's okay. Okay, and then sorry. Second question: can the other skeleton S1, which has just the bow, can you trigger an attack of opportunity with just a bow? Like if I ran past it, could it attack me with its bow?
No, it couldn't. It has to be a melee attack, but it could still try to do an unarmed strike at you.
Okay.
Try to punch you or kick you or bite you or something.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Well, so I imagine that I was like doing the like, and then they all woke up. And so now I'm standing right in front of this one. And I'll just go, what kind of an idiot sleeps standing up? Loser! And I will cast Vicious Mockery on the one right in front of me.
All right, what kind of a save is that?
That is a wisdom save.
That is a natural 10 minus 1 for a 9.
All right, it fails. I will roll 1 caltrope's worth of damage. Oh, it's a 4.
Right?
Ooh, that's good.
All
though.
right.
All right.
4 damage.
And that's to number 2, correct? The one that's right in front of you?
Yes, that's right. And it has disadvantage on its next attack roll.
Okay. As you hurl this series of insults at this creature, you watch as it sort of leans back. What kind of damage is that, by the way?
Good question.
I don't
Psychic.
think that okay, yeah, I don't think it has immunity or anything, just for my reference, but perfect,
Okay.
yeah. You watch as it, whatever sort of undeath is animating this body is still cognizant enough to be able to suffer from
Just-
petty insults. Especially ones that are magical. Okay, so, and then disadvantage on its next attack. Don't let me forget that.
Okay, well, no time to forget it, because I'm gonna. You've ever seen the video of the guy walking by Alex Jones while he's filming a video? It just does like a skipping middle finger jump away. I'm gonna do that now.
Okay.
And just, try to disengage to the opposite corner with my friends.
Okay, down here, sort of just north of Oleander.
Yeah, well, I guess trying to avoid a second attack of opportunity.
That's what I was going to say. Is you will pass within 5 feet of the other skeleton there.
Can if I'm gonna have to pass within 5 feet of one or the other, then I'll
Actually, you know what? You could just move down like this if you wanted to, down to here, and then
Right.
diagonally and then there. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so it will swing at you with disadvantage, which is a still kind of good, unfortunately. Natural 3 of 17 to hit.
God damn it! What was the higher one?
I rolled a 13 and a 16.
Ooh.
Unfortunately. As you pull both fingers out and try to back away, it does slice at you and catches you on the wrist. You pull your arm up to guard yourself and suffer a not too heavy of a slash to the arm for a total of 4 points of piercing damage. And is there anything else, any bonus action or anything you'd like to do in your turn?
Man, no, I think that's it. That sucks.
Right, with that,
Okay.
it is now this skeleton's turn, who's going to, I guess, still holding the sword, advance up here to you, Bree, and take a swing at you.
That's right.
That's a 14 to hit.
That's my AC.
That's your oof. All right. That'll be 6 points of piercing damage to you as it comes down with its sword and slashes into your side.
Owie! 6.
6. And now it is number 3's turn, who is going to move towards its actually, this one will back up and take a pot shot at its still closest opponent with its bow, which is going to be you, Glass. I'm rolling too well. 14 plus 4 is 18.
My plan did not work.
Shit.
So that's going to be another
You tried.
5 points of piercing damage on that one. Oof.
Okay.
All right. That, Oleander, you are up, and Bree, you're on deck. What do you want to do, Oleander? Your friends are getting wrecked here.
Yeah, this is bad. Righto. I am going to ready my trusty Eldritch Blast. And now I actually have an invocation on that Eldritch Blast, actually. Where was it? I'm gonna find my... Yeah, here we go. Yeah, when I hit a creature with Eldritch Blast, I can push the creature up to 10 feet away from me.
Oh, yeah,
In a
repelling
straight
blast,
line.
right?
Yeah, Repelling Blast, yeah.
Perfect. Is there any sort of a
And
save
I
required
also
for
have
that?
Agonizing Blast, which is I can add 3 to the damage it deals in a hit, which is already worked into the amazing system that D&D Beyond provides you. But yeah, the repelling thing is what I'm looking for here. So
Okay,
I'm
cool.
going to aim at skeleton number 2, and I'm going to try to push it away from Bree with my blast.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, just go ahead and roll to hit really fast if you would for me. And
All right.
is there any... I don't think there's any sort of save required for that. It's just when you hit, you can do it, right?
Yeah, I can do it. Yeah.
Cool.
So I got a 14.
14 will hit. Go ahead and roll some damage, and as you slam into the side of the skeleton with this eldritch energy, casting this beam, the skeleton does indeed bounce backwards, slamming into the wall, for which
Okay,
It does
that's
take
going to
an-
be 10 points of damage.
Wow, nice. 10 points of damage from the Eldritch Blast and an additional 1 point of bludgeoning damage from hitting the wall.
Wow.
Sick.
Nice.
Oh my
That
gosh,
is-
you're my hero.
How do you want to do this, Oleander?
Oh.
Woo!
Yeah.
It's like a Jumbotron going off at a hockey game. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's Mark's birthday.
Yeah. I'm going to shout, "Get dusted, jackass," while I do it. Throw out my arm.
Yeah.
It shoots the bolt, and the thing slams into the wall and just explodes into a big cloud of bone powder.
Yeah, bones scatter everywhere. What is most of it is turned completely to dust, which just sort of slowly settles in the room throughout the course of the next few seconds. Anything else you would like to do on your turn?
For my bonus action, I would like to take one of my 3 health potions, pop open the vial with one thumb, and just crank the whole thing in one go. And then throw the vial on the ground and smash it. And go like, "Damn, I'm cool."
I would like to slip on it.
I love this picture of like, woo!
Yeehaw, baby! Ready to rock!
All right.
Oleander's just a frat girl. I love it. Or a sorority girl.
Yeah.
I'm here to party.
All right, what'd you roll for your healing potion there?
Let me do that.
And then Bree, you're on
I
deck
have
here.
to roll 2d4 plus 2, so that's 1 and 1. Wow, great. 4 hit points recovered.
6.
So that brings me up to 11 out of 14 hit points. So we're good.
Cool. Out of the red. That's a good place to be. Alrighty. Any movement or anything on your turn? The doors behind you, I don't think are shut. Just so you know.
Nope. I'm going to stay right where I am because I am a ranged attacker, and this feels like a good place to be.
Perfect. And just so that I'm clear with everybody, you can see that there is a door here and a door. I don't know if you can even see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. There is a door against this wall and a door against this wall. So anytime you see that sort of white block on the side, that means there's a door there. Alrighty. So with that, back to the top of the order, Bree, getting hammered here, but you did watch the skeleton next to you literally explode and slam into the wall and shatter into a million pieces. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna look back at Oleander and say, "Thank you." And then I'm gonna take 2 more swings at this guy in front of me.
Awesome. Fuck him up.
Oh, maybe.
That is 13 to hit.
13 is exactly what you needed to hit.
All right,
Go ahead and roll some damage on
I'll
that one.
take it.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Baby! 9 points of damage.
9 points. Damn. Nice. So close to dead. Oh, come on. Give me character. Computer program. Thank you. There we go.
Okay.
All right. It is well beyond bloodied and barely hang on to life as you sort of carve into it. The arm that was previously holding the bow has now sort of clattered off to the ground, and it is effectively disarmed.
All right, I'll take that. My second hit is a 21 to hit.
21 definitely hits.
All right, and then that's 7 points of damage.
7 more points of damage. Yeah. How do you want to do this?
All right. Yeah. I'm gonna just say, I always dreamed about battling skeletons in a crypt one day, and I'm glad it ends with the skeleton dying and not me.
So I'll just watching this kind of lame.
As you experience a moment of grave reflection, you do slash down and shatter the rest of the skeletons. Whatever force was holding the bones together and reanimating them now dispersed.
All right.
Now you are free to move about the cabin. What would you... Why is this not going away? Sorry, my whole system is being really funky, and I cannot figure out for the life of me why.
The skeletons are haunting you.
Apparently they
Haunted.
are. Anyways, it's fine. I'll figure it out later.
Those Christmas skeletons.
Horrible Christmas skeletons.
There's jolly holiday skeletons.
Cool. Finally figured it out. Had to turn off the pen tool for whatever reason to close a window. Do you want to move or use a bonus action at all? Oh, you used your bonus action for your offhand attack. That's right.
I sure did. So in that case, I'm gonna stay right where I am.
Perfect. All right, Ambrose, you are now up. Glass, you're on deck. What would you like to do, Ambrose? 2 skeletons down.
Got one left. So this skeleton has its bow drawn right now, right?
It does, yeah. It just took a shot at Glass and did sink an arrow into him.
Would I be able to run towards it without taking an attack of opportunity? Or is that just fleeing?
Sorry, can you repeat that? I think my mic cut or my audio cut out.
Would I be able to run towards it without taking an attack of opportunity, or is that just fleeing?
Oh yeah, no, you only trigger attacks of opportunity when you leave something's reach, unless they have some sort of special feature.
Okay. I would like to use my incredible little hooves to run towards it and launch my quarterstaff at its knees.
Okay. As you
It's just
rush
the right
up
height.
to it and just slam out where its knees would be, trying your best to sort of knock it to the ground, go ahead and roll to hit.
Yeah. Ooh, it'll be a 17.
17 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll some damage.
All right. So that's a 1d6 plus 1. Bludgeoning damage. Ooh. So that'll be a 5.
5. And is that bludgeoning damage, perchance?
Yeah.
With a vulnerability to bludgeoning damage. How do you want to do this?
Ooh!
Okay.
Cool. Hell yes. I'd like to imagine that, like, you know when you get a new tube of Pringles and there's that delicious pop? I imagine that as Ambrose swings the quarterstaff right at like these kneecaps, like that's the sound they make as they pop off, and just the torso just falls to the side and explodes.
All I can hear is like bowling pins clattering to the ground.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, don't stop.
Yeah, completely dusted. Now the room begins to settle. The dust from the one that you had exploded against the wall, Oleander, begins to sort of rest on the ground, sort of like snow on the top of these sarcophagi and the floor and bones scattered around you. It is now quiet in this chamber. What to do?
Woo! All right. Hey, that went wildly better than I expected.
We're
Okay.
all just like choking on bone dust now.
You know, I did a really good job of getting hit this time around.
You did. Good job.
Yeah.
We all got a hand on the ball.
Yeah.
Good hustle out there, team.
Hey, he hated my words that I said to him. So
Yeah, he was very hurt. You could see it. You know how hard it is to insult a skeleton? They've literally got nothing left.
I didn't think that thing could frown, but I think I saw it frown.
I found that skeletons are very judgy.
Yeah.
I want to kind of take a look at the floor where I crossed to see if I notice anything that triggered their awakening.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check for me, please.
Okay. It's not good. 5.
5. You sort of take a look at the ground. You can see like sort of little bits of bone dust that are beginning to settle there. You don't see any sort of a mechanism or a trap or anything. And please forgive me if I used too literal of a term when I said the mechanism that did that earlier when I was doing our recap. it does not appear that there's any sort of a physical mechanism here.
Okay.
Can I
Must
cast
have been the wind.
detect magic?
Yeah, as you cast Detect Magic, go ahead and burn that slot, and then...
Wait. I thought that was like just a check that I roll for.
Oh, Detect Magic is a spell.
Oh, sorry. I don't have detect magic as a spell. No, I'm saying, can I check for like? Can I just like magic?
You can do an Arcana check to see if you know anything about maybe magic that might do something like this. But knowing if it is present in this room or not would have to be a spell.
Ah, okay. Let me just check to see if I know anything about magic skeletons.
Yeah, sure. Make an Arcana check for me.
Yeah. I feel like if anybody in this room knows about magic skeletons, it's definitely Oland.
And sure enough, that's a nat 20.
Nice.
I'm very familiar with magic skeletons.
Funny, I should ask myself.
You're aware that bodies can be preserved in a state of undeath, and oftentimes the more sort of lowly of the undead, whether those be zombies or skeletons or that sort, many of them can be bound by whatever spell awakens them and returns them to undeath. In doing that, there's also ways to sort of set them as sentinels, or set them to guard an area and do something when something happens. So you wager that maybe they were just told, or for lack of a better term, programmed to not attack until someone was in the unenviable position of the center of the room.
Okay. Would I know if those spells tend to lose juice over time, or are they just set indefinitely?
Very much depends on the spell.
Okay. So I don't have a way of knowing that. All right. Okay. Cool.
It doesn't. What you would know is that the magic wasn't cast to awaken them. Then they were already awakened.
Right.
It was just cast to set them in motion.
Okay. Yeah. So they were like motion detectors, essentially.
Basically, yeah. They were already awake when you came in the room. They were just motionless until whatever sort of.
Or to use an in-character fantasy term, these skeletons are really like owls perching in the trees, waiting for prey to come by so they can swoop down on us. They weren't asleep the whole time. That's why they... I mean, you can't tell that they're sleeping because they're just bones, but...
Now I understand.
Something that awoken them for us.
Yeah.
It's a motion detector. All right.
Yeah.
So as you glance around the room, you can see that there are the false pillars in the wall that are sort of carved to look like those oak trees. There is a door in the far northwestern corner of the room. There's one in the northeastern corner of the room. And behind you are the two sort of large copper doors that are ajar that lead into the hallway where there was the pit trap. In addition to the bones that sort of litter the floor, there are the 3 sarcophagi that they were resting upon when they were skeletons. But beyond that, this room is devoid of any other significant detail.
Can I check out the sarcophagus that's in front of me and just see if there's any like family name or crest or anything on it?
Yeah.
Or any identifying marks?
Who was that angel we saw before?
Is that investigation?
Yeah, make an investigation check if you would for me.
It's a 17.
17. Looking at this one, and then chancing glances over at the other two, the only thing that sort of binds them together or unifies them in theme is that they are of almost identical construction. They are all stone built into the walls themselves, not just simply rested there. And on them each are some names. The only things that are still legible, and it's just sort of being able to sort of piece it out between the 3 of them. It looks like the last name, which is mostly chipped off, but looks like the same pattern on all 3, is Tresendar, which would be what you know to be the name of the
manor.
Original owners of the manor, yeah.
Okay.
This kind of indicates to you, with that high of an investigation check, that this is a family crypt below a familial home.
Damn. So, Guess the family's still here guarding the family crypt.
That's weird. If somebody came down here and turned those skeletons into sentinels, then there must be something pretty decent down here they're guarding. Hopefully our
Nice.
hostages. Maybe also.
Do you think the Redbrands are descendants or connected to the Tresendars, or do you think they're just hopping on the fortune or whatever?
Unless our previous hostage was lying to us about there being people down here, and is just sending us to our deaths.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Evan, would I perchance know if there are magic users amongst the Redbrands?
You would remember that in your experience, the one leader of them with which you were not personally, but very much aware of, was a wizard. But most of the lower ranking members of them in your experience were not magic users now.
Okay, gotcha.
Anything nice on these piles of bone dust? Any
Go
gold
ahead
bone
and
dust?
make an investigation check or a perception check for me.
Wow, a gun.
Oh!
7.
7. Look around for a moment and just sort of kick through and muss around some of the bones. Doesn't really look like there's anything of value here. If there was, it would probably be in a similar state to the metal on the armor, which is at the point of disintegration.
Can I grab a handful of disintegrated bone dust and put it in my pocket?
Can, you weirdo.
That will surely come in handy.
I do that so that no one can see.
I still have a fever bone in my pocket, so don't you worry.
There you go, yeah.
Okay.
Boy. I'm gonna go run up to the door on the very north side there.
Okay.
And just I'm gonna peek in very stealthily.
Okay, so go ahead and first make a stealth check for me.
Sure. Ooh, that is a 12.
12, okay. And then as you very slowly and carefully creak the door open, I would like for you to please go ahead and make a perception check for me as you peer into this next area.
Wisdom saving.
Yeah.
Make a death save.
Oh, boy. That is what is it? Oh, 20.
20. Peer into this next area, you see before you a hallway.
Okay.
With, at the end of it, another door. It does not appear to be occupied. Moment. It is dark. There's no light in here, but that's it. Just a door up ahead to the right. With that perception check, however, you do notice that on the wall directly opposite from where you can see the door that is very obvious, there looks to be some strange seams in the masonry.
Okay. Strange seams.
Remember the kobold hideout?
Yeah.
No more mystery hallways.
Strange seams, but it does look masoned. Like it's not
It looks masoned, but in the way that the bricks sort of align together, it looks almost like in some places those bricks are forming a line that might be able to move.
okay.
That sort of jagged line does form an opening that might be large enough to travel through if you were able to move that section of brickwork.
Right. Like in cartoons when something is like foregrounded and you know it's gonna like move in the next frame. Yeah.
Just in that you can see that it's regular brickwork, but between the bricks sort of in this large rectangular shape, almost the shape of a door, there is no grout.
Okay.
There's nothing that seems to be holding them there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna turn back to my party and relay this to them. There's empty dark hallway up here. There's a door, and then I think there's like a secret door on the other side too.
Oh, we
But
definitely
nobody-
know this place is, there's definitely old traps lying about.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think we should be careful before we go through that hallway.
Sure.
Okay. Would I be able to check the other door?
Yeah, the one to the northeast, correct?
Yeah.
That you're standing next to? Yeah.
Yep.
Are you doing that
I'm right there.
carefully?
Yes, very carefully.
All right. Make a stealth check for me first, then, please.
All right. Big money, big prizes. Ooh. That'll be an 18.
An 18, okay. Sort of crouch down and gesture to your friends to be quiet and just very carefully begin to push the door open. As you peer into this next chamber, what you can see is what appears to be a makeshift prison.
Oh.
Inside some of the cells, let me do this. It is partitioned into 3 areas. You can see that there are iron bars that wall off the north section and iron bars that wall off the south. Inside those cells to the north and south, the floor of which both is lined with straw that is just filthy with you don't want to know. The hinged doors to these cells look like they are secured by chains and padlocks. Inside the cell to the south, so to your right, peering into this room, you can see that there are a pair of disheveled-looking human women. And then as you look to the right, you can see there's a small human boy. And I need for you to please make an insight check for me.
Okay. Lucky number 13.
13. As you glance at these humans that are in either cell on either side, you look at the boy first and he seems scared and just sort of hides his face, and as you look back over the women, one of them just sort of turns and buries her face in the other one, while the other one stares you directly in the eyes, almost unfalteringly, and then you catch for a brief moment her eyes flick from yours to next to the door and then back to yours, and you see a brief widening of her eyes. And I need for everybody to roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Ambrose, because of that insight check and briefly glancing over to your side, you do manage to not be surprised by the 2 Redbrands who flank the door with their backs to the door on either side.
I get to keep my head securely attached to my shoulders.
Yeah.
No. They might still roll initiative higher than you, but they don't get a free round on you. So.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be like in Final Destination when the guy's working out and there's the swords. And they just.
And then
I only saw the trailer, but I assume that's what happened.
Glass, you said that you were checking out the middle of the room, and then Oleander,
Yep.
I don't know if you'd really moved anywhere, but I'll put you up.
Yeah, I didn't really move anywhere. I'm probably just right there or something.
Perfect. Hear this combat.
I didn't go up to that door. Thinking about it. Ambrose, have you taken any hits?
I haven't yet.
All right.
Well, that may change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So, Ambrose, what is your initiative?
I got a 17.
17.
Ooh.
Nice.
Watch as I die later.
Not 317. That would be very high. Bree.
19.
19. Awesome. Class.
15.
15. Oleander.
I got an 11.
Taking us off at the start here. We have Bree, and then Ambrose, you're right after that. And then Glass. Bree, you don't really have any sort of indication of anything that's happening at the moment. So you know, so roleplay that as well as you
Right.
would like to.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm assuming that Ambrose maybe like started or something, and I don't know. I'll run up to his side to yeah. I'll run up to his side to see if I can see what he is seeing.
Okay.
And
Yeah, as you make your way forward, you do catch Ambrose sort of twitch out of the corner of your eye, and as time dilates, you sort of just rush over to peer in, see what's going on, and you can see inside, at least from where you are, one Redbrand with a sword held high, ready to come down on Ambrose.
okay. Can I like grab Ambrose by the back of the shirt and like yank him out of the way?
You can, but that might cause an attack of opportunity. Or two.
Oh.
Or two.
You would be
It's like
aware.
an,
Your character would not know that there would be two. So.
Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. Go ahead and make a strength check. Ambrose, are you allowing this to happen, or are you trying to stay where you are?
That's totally fine.
Okay.
Short
So,
solidarity.
then, yeah, go ahead and just make your regular strength check for me.
Okay.
No.
Oh, right. Not one. I always feel like I'm cheating when I reroll.
It is such cheating, but that's okay. That's what your character's for.
Okay.
I'm fine with this.
Oh my gosh.
That's a little bit better. Yeah,
Strength
I get
check.
absolutely nothing, I think.
That's right.
Yeah, 15.
15. That's
That one.
like 75% percentile. As you do grab Ambrose sort of by the back of his black cloak and yank him backwards, he stumbles backwards, and the one is going to sort of pull his sword down on him, trying to get an attack as he gets out of the way. The first one, you whiff, and it barely catches... Oh, my headphones. It barely catches the tip of your hat, Ambrose. The other one also brings the sword down. Oh my god, I rolled 2 natural 3s.
Oh my god.
Both of them just...
All right.
And Bree, now as you pull Ambrose back, you see one sword flash, and then catching the light in the room, you see another sword slash down, and you realize that could have been awful. But Ambrose, you are pulled back. One space, Bree, you as well. That's your action, and that was, so let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's 25 feet of movement, so you have 5 more feet of movement.
Okay.
Moving with someone is double movement.
Sure. Oh, that's right. Yeah. I will just... I'm just gonna sneak back up to be next to Ambrose so that if one of those folks runs out, I can do what they did to us.
Right there. Okay. Unfortunately, yeah, with the way visibility is right now, neither of you have eyes on the second one for the moment. With that, after being sort of yanked out of the way and narrowly getting your head cleft from your shoulders, Ambrose, what would you like to do?
Can I tell if the one that I saw is moving towards us, or are we still in like the time dilation zone?
As far as combat goes, every entire round of combat, everybody getting a turn is only 6 seconds.
Okay,
So pretty much any time you're in combat, it's that sort of it's kind of hard to justify
Bullet
things since it's turn based, but also happening simultaneously. So
Okay. Could I fall, like, kind of tripping backwards and letting out like a little yelp? Can I grab the little bag of sand from my equipment and just like chuck it at this dude?
okay, yeah, like in an attempt to blind him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty
I'll
close.
say go ahead and make a... Make a dexterity check for me, please, as your attack with this, and then I will make a dexterity saving throw for him to try to avoid it.
Okay. 10.
That is a third in a row natural 3 for me.
All right.
As you fling this sand at him, I will say that he is blinded until the say the end of his next turn.
Nice.
But currently he watches you throw this sand at him, and he just sort of reaches up with his hand that doesn't have a sword in it and tries to scoop it out of his eyes and tries to blink back the tears. You can tell, definitely having trouble getting a grip on what he can see around him at the moment.
Pocket sand.
Pocket sand. All right, so that is your action. Improvised weapon. That's very smart. What would any movement or bonus action for you?
Can I move kind of to the northwest 1 block and yell to my companions? We got a guy. There's a guy here.
All right,
And
and especially
child.
from where you are right there, you can see both of them for sure, at least the remnants of one of them. And then with that, Glass, you are up. We have both of them, and then Oleander, you're at the end here. Ready. Glass, what would you like to do?
Okay, so I can see R2 from where I'm standing?
You can,
Or-
yes.
Okay. And blind, I assume, has disadvantage on attack rolls?
I believe disadvantage on attack rolls, and I think attacks against them have advantage. Let me grab my...
Okay. Just because I wouldn't do vicious mockery if he does that.
I always set my little DM screen out, and I forgot to this time because it has my cheat sheet on it. Blinded creature can't see, automatically fails any ability check that requires sight. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage.
Okay, cool. So I was like readying some sick burn, and then I'm like, oh, he seems pretty insulted already. And then I'll just pull out my crossbow and try and shoot him. Oh. So does that have advantage?
That does have advantage. Go ahead and make your ranged attack with advantage.
Ooh, they're both good. That is a 20-something.
Yeah, that'll
24.
definitely hit. Go ahead and roll some damage with that.
Yeah, cool. Okay, that is a 7 damage.
7 points of damage. Nice.
I'm gonna just look over at Oleander like.
Ambrose throws sand in his face, and with his hand still sort of up, brushing the sand out of his eyes, he sort of staggers back with a crossbow bolt in the chest. That did some serious damage to him. He's looking rough.
Just gonna give him some flavor. Loser!
Not quite bloodied yet, but heavy amount of damage. Any bonus action or movement on your turn?
No, I think I'm happy where I'm at.
Okay. It is now this first that one's turn, who is still blinded and trying to push the whatever it is out of his eyes. He's going to make his way forward and into the room here and try to strike at you, Bree, though with disadvantage.
All right.
That is a 13 to hit.
Misses.
Misses. Yeah, that disadvantage saved your life there. He comes down on you, and with all the sand in his eye, cannot get a bead on where you're at. Goes to swing at you, thinking you're a much taller creature, and just goes clear over your head. He will remain. Actually, he's going to stay where he is and just sort of level his sword at you with his eyes covered, and just sort of sidestep and parry around you, really not being aware of the rest of the enemies in the room here. With that, he at the end of the turn, he finally does manage to get the last of the sand out of his eyes, and he is no longer blinded. And it is now this one's turn, who will step up here into the doorway. Probably step back to here, and And he's going to... oh, they don't have ranged weapons, do they? He's just... Oops, I closed the door. He's going to just make his way up to you here, then, Bree, and strike at you with a regular attack instead of just finish.
He's going to close the door and pretend this isn't happening.
He said it. Shuts the door.
Good night.
Y'all can have him. That is a 18 to hit.
Ooh, that'll hit.
All right, it's going to be... Oh, shit, that is 8 points of piercing damage as he comes down on you with his sword. You still conscious?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. And that's it for his turn. He will stay where he is. With that, Oleander, you are up, and Bree, you're on deck.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna ready another big juicy Eldritch Blast and aim it right at Red Cloak, Red Beard, Red.
That's right.
Yeah. Number 2.
Okay.
Red Boy. That's going to be a 15.
15. Yeah, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll some damage.
Whoa, okay, that's going to be a 12 damage.
How do you want to do this?
Oh!
Just smoke him.
Oh!
Float his
Damn.
dead body against that wall.
Right. Okay. Okay. I'm going to say, Bree Ambrose, you might want to get out of the way a little bit. And I'm going to do another Eldritch Blast out of my hands. It's going to hit Red Boy number 2, smack in the square middle of his chest. He goes flying backwards like he was like in wuxia movies where they're on wires. And he just
Perfect.
crashes on the wall and there's a crack noise and he just sort of flumps over.
Yeah, as he slams into the wall and just sort of slides down it, you can see there's this spider web-like crater in the wall where there's bits of and elements of stonework sort of falling out, and he is very much dead with little chunks of stone sort of raining on his head from where he impacted the wall.
Cool.
Awesome. Do you have any bonus actions or movement you want to do?
Yeah, I look at my own hands and I'm like, damn.
I'll just blast
Other
his
than that, I did great.
Sick.
Awesome. And then with that, Bree, you're up, and Ambrose, you're on deck. What would you like to do? With this, the first Redbrand, R1, the second one who entered the room, it's confusing for me, just sort of like looking at the rest of you is going to start, you can watch as he begins to sort of almost back up and retreat into the room, and you can see his hand is sort of searching for the side of the door to sort of close it behind him. This time, seriously, he's like, "Ugh."
Good. Okay, again, I'm going to ask, no, it's kind of late for the one, but do I recognize either of these boys?
Looking at them, and they look... Your experience with the Redbrands was one that left you feeling like they were almost this faceless series of men that just all sort of seemed to have this almost hive mind-like
That's right.
way of thinking and behaving. Not much individuality, but these two, racking your memory, no, you don't recognize either of them.
Okay, just cannon fodder.
We are the Redbrands.
Okay.
It's a great identity.
Yeah. I am... All right. Yeah. I'm gonna yell at this guy, just like, man, y'all really like throwing innocent people in dungeons, don't you? And I'm gonna take a swing at him.
All right, yeah, he can't respond till his turn anyways.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Strike at him.
I'm re-rolling that. Oh,
is it another nat
boy.
one?
Double nat ones.
Wow.
It finally happened! I'm so sorry, but yeah! Okay. As
Where's your god now?
you go to swing at him,
Whiff.
part of you falters as you try to see if you recognize this man and the other one that is now laying dead on the ground, and thinking about the others that are shattered in the other room. And these are people that at one point you worked with. And that slight hesitation is just enough time for this one to dodge out of the way of your sword strike and leave your sword just sending an arc of sparks off of the back wall that sort of carves down it, absolutely not hitting anything.
Bummer.
You do have your bonus action attack, though, if you would like it.
I sure do.
Oh, I don't know.
I guess not. Do I? No. Whatever.
If you don't have it, you don't have it.
Cool. Well, then, fucking, I'm gonna take another swing at him.
Okay. Go for it.
Ooh, I really hope I don't die on the next one. Yes, that is a 13 to hit.
13, unfortunately, bounces off what little bit of armor he does have. Still your thoughts still swimming too heavily with questioning if these people deserve to die like this. I don't know. It's rough. All right, any movement or anything on your turn?
Ooh, nope. That's it.
Okay. That Ambrose, you were up. Glass, you're on deck. Ambrose, you just watched Bree try to communicate with this man and then swing twice, missing. What do you want to do? She's clearly frazzled and you're unsure why.
So thinking back to our previous Redbrand experience with the guy that we almost killed or kept as a guide, seeing this go on, I would like to. Ambrose would like to take quarterstaff and make a jabbing motion directly for this dude's unfortunate nethers with the aim to stun him.
Okay. You can do damage and consider it non-lethal damage, which would knock him unconscious instead of killing him, if you would like to. Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that.
Sure.
Okay. Roll. That's a 14.
14. That is exactly what you needed to hit. Go ahead and roll some damage.
Okay. It's gonna be 6. 5.
All right. Stepping up and over the body of the now dead one on the floor, you do just sort of lunge forward using your quarterstaff like a pool cue and firmly find purchase in somewhere that no man wishes to have a pool cue thrust. And you do deal significant damage to him, but it's not enough to kill him or knock him unconscious. But he is in significant pain on his face as he's doubled over. Anything else on your turn?
I'd like to. Can I? No, you know what? I'll stay where I am. I'm good.
Okay. And with that, Glass, you're up. Then the Redbrand gets his turn, and then Oleander, you're up.
How much damage did you deal, Ambrose? 5.
Go.
Go. Okay. All right. I'm gonna raise my crossbow, and I'm gonna point it at him and say, unless you want to end up like your friend, stand down and tell us what you're doing here.
Okay. Make an intimidation check.
Okay. 15.
That I literally rolled a 15. But for him, what is charisma? Yeah, charisma's a plus
turn on my
0, so
light
that's a tie, and that means tie goes to the runner. So as you point this at him, and he stands there now just like doubled over in pain, clutching his crotch, dead friend on the ground, he just sort of, it pains him to do so, but pulls his hands away from his body and just sort of lets the sword clink on the ground. I don't want any more trouble. And anything else on your turn?
No. I'll step 2, I guess. Just between Ambrose and Bree.
Perfect. Yeah, you have him surrounded aside from the open door at his back. From there, now you can see the child in the northern of the 2 cells. That it is his turn. He will just do his best to sort of stand up straight and listen. It's not worth dying over. And that's his turn. Oleander, what would you like to do?
Eldritch Blast.
No, I'm good. I'm gonna join the group over there. It's fine.
Make your way up, all of you sort of clamoring around this man. The violence in the room comes to a standstill, and a bit of a pained truce.
Hey, buddy.
That really hurt. Oh man. I'm leaving.
I don't know if you're in a position to be complaining when you have 2 people in prison cells. 3 people. 2 prison cells. I'm asking questions here.
I'm feeling somewhat less sympathetic towards these Redbrands.
You want me to get him again?
No, please don't hit me again. I mean, I don't mean to be a smartass here, but how exactly is it you think that the slave trade works?
Oh, God.
Well, first off, it shouldn't.
Wow. This guy really trying to get dead.
Yeah.
We're closer.
All right. Can I do an unarmed strike? Unarmed strike, non-lethal damage.
Wait.
Are you trying to knock him out? Or are you trying to hurt him?
People, and also, it's my turn.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, okay, that's all I need to know. Thank you. And then I fire an Eldritch Blast at him.
Oh my God.
Okay, go ahead and roll the hit.
No,
That's going to be a 16.
16, yeah, that will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my, that's just going to be a 4.
Oh, thank God.
4, okay. That is enough to knock him. Are you knocking him back as well?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Okay.
But not
That's fine. You slam him back into this next room against the iron bars of the cell, which resound with this big boom that sort of echoes through the chamber and gives a very satisfying impact. He just sort of hits the bars and slumps down on the ground and just holds the back of his head. He looks like he's kind of flickering in and out of consciousness. He's not down or unconscious, but he is badly hurt and prone.
Let's see if we can get keys from him.
I'm gonna walk over to him.
Let's see if we can get keys from him. Let's see if we can get keys from him. What if they're somewhere else?
Didn't your mother ever teach you not to treat people like objects? And then can I
can I dogpile? I'm voting to dogpile. I'm diving.
Are you dogpiling the man, or are you dogpiling Oleander?
Okay, good. I was gonna say yeah.
I didn't hear which one you said.
Oleander.
Okay. Go ahead and Make a strength or athletics check against your Oleander strength or athletics, or for you, since you're trying to escape, dexterity or acrobatics, if you prefer. So you have your choice of the 4.
Cool.
Use acrobatics.
Got a nat 1.
Oh god.
Oh wow, well that's lucky because I got a 4. So
Just kind of flailing.
fucking get off me.
I mean, I have a +1 to strength. I don't think it matters with a nat
Yeah.
1. So
We both flail around uselessly, but I get the thing, and I back off.
Ambrose, you lower your horns and do what you can to sort of charge in and knock Oleander away from this man, fearing for his life merely as a tool for progressing your way through whatever sort of mystery lies ahead of you. And in doing so, Oleander reaches out a much longer arm and just sort of places it on your forehead and guides you around. Ambrose, you stumble into the room now, and Oleander, you are almost knocked off balance by this, but you manage to retain your composure barely.
Yeah.
Are you still going to attempt to make another attack here, or?
No. I think I've made my point.
The man at this point is just sort of cowering down on the floor, seated with both sort of legs spread out in front of him.
Yes.
Can
Now,
I? Yeah, go ahead.
help.
We're a gang of local troubleshooters, and we'd like to present you with an exciting opportunity
Oh.
to go into a new career field
Help.
called literally
I'm
any.
gonna run it. I'm gonna run it in the middle of that, and I'm gonna go down and still just like grab him by his tunic, whatever
You
he
got him
may
here,
be
and he's
wearing.
just kind of like,
All right, I'm gonna say, where are the keys?
He just sort of reaches for his belt and just holds up a small ring of keys with a shaky hand, and they sort of jangle as his hand shakes with fear.
Okay, I'm gonna take him, and I'm gonna say, I'm gonna look back at everyone.
Oh,
You can go.
One more second.
give me a few minutes with him.
Okay.
Yeah. One sec.
Do you want to
All right,
slave?
I got what I wanted. Okay.
Yeah. I guess I'll go inside now too.
Okay.
We're playing bad cop bad.
It's just bad cop at this
Yeah.
point,
Yeah,
which is great.
Playing. I'm trying.
Okay. No, I want to punch him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Truly.
Bree, as you make your way in, just demanding an audience with him, Glass, you just sort of let him go. He's just sort of slumps back to the ground, hard against the bars, with another sort of loud, resounding, echoing metal sound. Bree, you approach and, for one of the few times in your life, loom over this man.
I can see there's like a kid in the cell behind him, right?
Yeah, he's currently just sort of curled up in the fetal position on sort of his butt and the bottom of his feet, just like sort of holding himself and like leaning with his face buried in the wall. It just seems like he's doing everything he can to kind of block whatever's happening out.
That's right. Remember that scene at the start of Kill Bill where she like kills a woman in front of her kid and she's like, when you want to get even, look me up. Okay. Don't want to traumatize this child more than he's already traumatized.
He's an eyeball.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna just like, okay, I'm gonna walk over and just fucking stand on this man's chest.
Okay.
And
easy enough, you just sort of walk over and place a heavy boot in the center of his chest where he's taken a few wounds already, and he just sort of coughs, and there's a little trickle of blood from the corner of his mouth.
Yeah. Didn't expect to find you guys so far afield. But it seems like your arm is a little longer than I expected. So...
He sort of looks down at his arm, says, I don't know what you mean.
Awesome. So, looks like you Redbrands have kept up your habit of just preying upon people who are already preyed upon. And, yeah. You know, everybody I love is in a cell just like this because of you and your shitty boss. So, I would really like some information.
I mean,
Where's Glassstaff?
Shit. Your guess is as good as mine. I know he kind of comes and goes as he pleases. I ain't seen him in at least a 10-day. But for what it's worth, I guess I am kind of sorry about what's happened to you and your folks, whatever you said about that, but I mean, I'm just following orders.
Yeah, I've heard that line before. Yeah, is this your only encampment out here?
You mean as far as Redbrands go?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're looking at it. Unless you want to call the sleeping giant something like that, but that's more of just a hangout.
Oh. Sure. All right.
Listen, all we was done was to hire to frighten off people like you, scare you off, get you out of town, and I don't know, keep the locals under thumb was what we was told.
Yeah. Well, I'm used to being the scary one. And I'm just gonna punch him in the face.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the hit, and actually, that's automatically hits.
21.
You punch him in his head, like clang, hits the back of the bars again, and lets out that same ding. You watch as the child in the corner sort of hunches down, and you hear the women just sort of like gasp. Cell behind you, and he just like is very foggy. His eyes sort of like flickering in and out. He's somehow still conscious, but very, very not long for this world.
Can I
Sure.
come over?
Yeah.
I'm gonna What else are you hiding in here?
I mean, it's a pretty big place down here. A lot bigger than what you'd think. Listen, you go out here, you go up there, you're gonna find our supply closet. Take whatever you need. And across the hall from that, you're gonna find there's an area of the brickwork. You can push it away. It'd let you into the rest of it, but I mean, y'all look tough, but even a group of us ain't tough enough to handle that eye monster that's in there. Blaststaff keeps that thing as some sort of sick pet. I don't know what it is, but I don't like it. I don't like it getting in my head.
What did he say? Getting in his head?
That's right.
Oh no!
just pre say that.
Wasn't being totally honest before, and I'm sorry for that. I know my life's in your hands right now, but Glassstaff's got chambers at the far western end of the stronghold here.
Okay. Chambers for more slaves?
No,
People?
no. These ones are just his private chambers.
Oh, I understand. Sorry.
I can't guarantee he'll be there.
It's like I said, I ain't seen him in a minute, but there's places in here to look. That's the best I can give you. We're not the toughest things you're gonna find down here.
Seen any dwarves?
Right.
Sort of points
Okay.
at Bree and says,
All right.
Man, fuck you guys.
Oleander, was that a question or something?
Yeah, or can I use one of my healing potions on him?
What? Whoa. I will block that.
Yeah,
I will block that.
It's
He'll be fine. He's not dead yet.
he's not dead.
on me.
Leaving him here or what? Like, are we being merciful or merciless?
I'm gonna punch the guy in the face.
The worst option karmically. Although he is a shit bag.
"Listen, if
No Nazis in this world, so I'm not gonna make that reference. But-
Glassstaff finds out I let these prisoners go and got my ass handed to me like I have here today, I'm as good as dead anyway. So you might as well do it."
No, we'll let him do it.
just-
So I'm gonna punch him in the face and try and knock him out. And I
Okay,
will punch
just
him
to
in-
clarify for like the 100th time, unarmed strikes do 1 HP of damage, and they have to reduce them below 0 to knock them out. He has a lot more than 1 HP left. So you're
Wait,
just continuing to punch him.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is taking so long.
That's the point.
If we could
Yeah.
just.
punch him until he's
I'm
knocked.
trying to be a nice person here.
Don't you
I'm
wanna-
trying to be
This
a
man-
decent person.
This man casually referred to what he does as slavery. That's the slave trade.
Do you want to punch him next? You can get a turn after Blast if you want.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not running anything here.
Did
but-
Eldritch Blast?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. If it's okay to not roll, I would just, if it takes a couple punches, to knock him out.
Yeah, and Bree will help.
Yeah, I guess I'll help too. Let's all help knock this guy out.
Yeah.
So I will say with that, as the group of you just sort of circle around and crack your knuckles within
Sucks.
a series of blows, you are able to reduce this man to an unconscious, bloody pulp on the ground.
That is
he's-
great.
Tight.
This is
Was
good.
that the goal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's get these people out of these cells.
Let's do that.
I'm gonna look up. I look up at the kid on the other side of the jail cell walls and just be like, "Sorry."
He's still just sort of huddled down in the corner.
Let's unlock these.
Yeah, I'll open his and then go over to the two women on the other side and open theirs.
You go and unlock his gate. It swings free just a couple of inches, and as you go up and unlock the women's cell, the one who had made eye contact with you before, you can see is one. She's just got these sort of dark curls that are just matted to her face with like dirt and sweat, and just sort of looks at you, just mouths like a very quiet like thank you. Sort of like takes the other woman's hair, who has this like sort of dirty blonde hair that is equally matted and in a state of disrepair, and just sort of presses her face into her collarbone and just sort of begins to make her way towards the door. As you unlock the door and the door does swing open, she says, "She's been through a lot, but thank you. I don't know what I could do to repay you at all, but thought we were gonna die down here."
It's okay. You don't have to do anything. You're fine.
For what it's
Just-
worth, you gave him better than he deserved.
Yeah.
I'm sure his boss will see to his punishment.
Let
I can
everybody
still
know.
kill him if you want.
Oleander is being extremely switchy tonight.
See, the child is gone.
What
Say
did you
again?
say? I'm sorry.
Oh, save it for when the child is gone.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair. Yeah.
The woman who was previously being held now just sort of, you see as she raises her head up and she sort of takes stock of the area around her. It seems she's just sort of now realizing that she's been released from her confines, and as she does, she sort of almost trips over herself, rushing over to the other cell and pushes the door open and just sort of throws her arms around the small boy and begins to like sob and just hold him. If she is saying something, you're unsure what. It's pretty hard to hear between the choked crying. The one with the darker curls who had spoken to you before just says, "Listen, you got to be careful down here. Seen them? They got these big furry monster things with big ears. They got a lot of shit. I don't."
Like me, or
No offense, sweetheart, but you ain't nearly scary enough to look like one of these things.
you calling me thin?
Okay.
Are you flirting with me?
No,
Wow.
I do not say that. I absolutely do not say that.
Wow.
Prisoner, we just freed.
Listen, I'm sorry. I can't push myself past it. I feel like I owe you something as a thank you here. If you ever found yourselves in Thunder Tree, that's where my family used to be from. We
Okay.
fled from the town after undead overran the place ages back. You ask anybody around here, they'll tell you about it. But we used to have this herb and alchemy shop there, and I mean, I don't know if it's still around, but we do know that there's a family heirloom there. It's a small case, and there's an emerald necklace inside of it. If you find yourselves over there, it's yours. It's worth a good deal of coin. And I'm sorry I don't have anything on me, but that's all I got.
What's the place called?
Thunder Tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, the store. Or okay. What's your name?
Oh, I'm Myrna.
Erna from Thunder Tree.
Myrna, whether you're going back to Phandalin or wherever, just let folks know to keep well away from these Redbrands.
I don't know what much we have to go back to. I mean, one of the Redbrands was shouting lewd things at me, and my husband stood up to him and cut down.
Oh.
And they just came into our home that night and snatched us up. I'm gonna go look after my daughter over here. Son.
I'm gonna
Or grandson,
just
sorry.
I'm gonna give her 5 gold. See if I hope you can make something to go back to.
Make a persuasion check. She humbly tries to just sort of push the gold away.
Oh.
7.
7. She says, "Sweetheart, you're gonna need this more than I do. I've still got a home. I've still got most of my family. I'll make do. We got our lives, and we got that to thank for you."
Okay. Well, if you ever run into any more issues in the future, and Oleander pulls out a business card, here's what it
And-
contains.
And that's where we'll go ahead and take our break for the evening. Awesome.
I mean, this is the time when it's appropriate to give someone a business card.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is. No, it absolutely is. That's perfect.
Troubleshooting. We did it.
All right. For those of you who are still watching, if you are interested in tonight's giveaway, the keyword is captives. CAPTIVES. So go ahead and enter captives one time in chat. If you enter more than once, you will be disqualified, so only do it one time. And that is going to enter you to win a digital copy on D&D Beyond of the source book Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. That is a tongue twister of a title, but inside that book, there's a lot of awesome stuff on the history of the Blood War, the history of elves, dwarves, halflings, and a ton of like really cool monster stats for you to use in your home game or for you to use for reference in building your own characters. It's a bunch of cool stuff. So go ahead and enter captives once in chat, and I will make sure that by the time we get back from our little 15-minute break here, we're going to pick one of those winners. But without any further ado, I think it's time for our intermission. We're going to go ahead and play a little video from our charity here, Transgender Law Center. And if you have time and any sort of money to spare, we would really, really appreciate if you could throw even a couple bucks in the direction of the charity. And if you do donate, stick around for the end of the stream. We will give you a little shout out and a thank you. But for now, we'll catch you in 15 minutes. Take care.
We believe in the leadership of trans and gender nonconforming people.
We believe in a future. We believe at the end of the day that we all can get free.
Transgender Law Center is a resource, but it's also a source of hope.
Well, I think we've come a long way, for sure. We started off as the organizations that help community members with their identity documents, name change, and their birth certificates petition. I think that we would not have grown in such an exponential way had it not been for NCLR's mentoring.
I actually don't think about TLC as a project of NCLR. I really think about them as a colleague organization, partnering with us shoulder to shoulder, doing very, very difficult work, who is there specifically to effectively and strategically be a champion for the transgender community.
At the Transgender Law Center, we have moved forward work that makes sure that we have laws and policies in place that protect our rights as transgender people.
Well, yesterday was a big step for equality. This is actually a pretty simple bill that makes...
Thank you to my lawyers and everyone who's been representing me. It's nice knowing that this will definitely be a beacon for other trans kids and other people in the community to look to as a source for hope.
You know, our work does not live here at the headquarters of Oakland, California, but our work exists out in the field. It exists in community centers. It exists at the border. It exists in detention centers. It is about empowering communities and supporting communities and meeting them where they're at.
The impact that Positively Trans has had on my life is that it has given me the opportunity to be visible, to be a voice within the transgender community, especially when it comes to trans people living with HIV, particularly the Black trans community. We are the authors of our stories. You can't tell our stories for us.
So we're about to cross. The immigrants from all Latin America are about to cross the border and present themselves to us at the site.
Trans immigrants should not be detained, period. And so we launched TIDE, Transgender Immigrant Defense Effort.
We've been doing work in the South in partnership with Southerners on New Ground for about almost 2 years at this point. And it's been super critical as well because we have seen that a lot of the anti-trans legislative attacks have occurred in the South.
We've seen amazing emergence of leadership within our Truth program, which is our trans youth program.
I have to know, again, my own self-worth and my own intelligence, because whatever I do, because I am Black, because I'm trans, because I'm queer, is going to be questioned.
At Transgender Law Center, we're holding the whole community, right? We think that no one is disposable, that no one is left behind.
Now we're in a moment where we can utilize all the skills we've learned.
As soon as Trump was elected, we were really clear about the ways our community would be targeted. And we knew that what that would mean is that there would be incredible need for direct legal services and support.
And we came up with an emergency response plan, harnessing community power to meet the community need.
So we launched these national training institutes where we brought together transgender nonconforming leaders from all across the country. And what we found time and time again is that trans leaders have been asking for this for so long.
Each and every single day I find inspiration from our community leaders across the country around the ways that they're wanting to intentionally build the leadership of their local communities.
We are building an army of people that can resist the attacks that are happening at this moment.
I do feel like this dark moment has the seeds for a revolution that TLC can lead. And imagine, you see what's happened in just 15 years? The sky's the limit for what TLC can do and accomplish.
I think it's an important moment for supporters and those that love TLC to really continue to invest in TLC because of the cutting edge work that we're doing and because all the ways in which we're stretching all the resources that are given to us.
We will continue to center the most vulnerable and most targeted and make sure that the work we are doing is about meeting the real lived needs of people, the real day-to-day survival needs that we know many of our community is facing. It's really about being able to keep people alive, thriving, and fighting for liberation, justice, and self-determination for our communities.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Thank you for joining us after our break. We had a good break, did you? So for those of you who entered our giveaway, I'm going to go ahead and run that really quick. Let's see. Congratulations to Vanguard Christie.
Hey, all right.
Vanguard Christie, hit up our mod in the chat that is Exploding High, and they will help you figure out how to get a hold of that book code. So thank you very much for sticking around and watching. And just to update everybody on where we are right now as far as our charity stuff goes, let's take a really fast peek at that. Wow, we are at 1,810. Whereas before the stream, I think we were at 1,400. So that's a big jump.
Job.
Check. Yeah, a couple of really big donations tonight. So thank you very much to those of you who are doing that. We will be reading off your names and the messages that you included with your donations at the end of the stream. And again, if anybody else watching has it within them to share a little bit to be able to help the transgender community in both legal and fiscal terms, in dealing with a lot of the sometimes seemingly insurmountable problems that face that entire community as a whole, your money can be, you can rest assured that it will be put to good use by a group like Transgender Law Center. So we would appreciate your donations. That being said, does anybody have anything that they want to talk about or discuss before we hop back into the game? Yeah.
I remembered a little shout out or whatever. A project I'm very fond of, the Appalachian Prison Book Project, is looking for manga. It's like one of the most requested items in prisons, and they never get them because they're not considered educational or whatever.
Wow.
So I don't know. Seems like the right crowd.
I think we actually have some manga that we were thinking about donating.
Yeah.
We could actually, put some details about the chat. Because we will help out with that if nothing else.
Awesome. Yeah, totally. They're I believe it's AppalachianPrisonBookProject.com. But we'll drop it in the chat as well.
That's awesome. That's such a cool cause. Thank you.
Comics. Yeah.
That's not something I thought that I would be considering tonight, and it makes so much sense. And yeah, what a cool cause. Okay.
Yeah, really used.
Cool.
Sip. Okay.
Sip my apple
At the
juice.
beginning of the night, the party began their descent into this strange subterranean sepulcher, a crypt beneath this old dilapidated manor named Tresendar Manor. In the last session, they had found a large room with a large stone basin full of fresh drinking water, many supplies indicating that this place was indeed inhabited, and then they were able to fight off a few of the Redbrands who were guarding that main entrance, making their way past a trapped hallway and into a crypt area that was guarded by these magically triggered guard skeletons, if you will. Upon moving on from that area, they made their way into a room where they found a makeshift prison of sorts, a few iron-barred cells with a small child and a pair of women inside of it, being guarded by two Redbrands, again, who did what they could to try to slow the party's progress, but eventually met their demise. One of them dead on the ground, the other now unconscious in a bloody pulp from a enthusiastic beating given by the party as soon as they learned that these gentlemen are heavily engaged in the slave trade. Can't say I don't blame them. I would probably do the same thing myself. After this man fell unconscious, just so gently fell unconscious, you were able to lift the keys from his belt, open both gates, and one of the women offered you a reward in the form of a family heirloom that was hidden away in an old dilapidated shop that her family had owned in generations past in a mountain town that was long since overrun by the undead. and the other woman appeared to be the mother of the child held in the opposite cell. As they sort of bring themselves together and prepare to face what is next for them, Oleander was able to offer the women a business card in case they ever needed to reach you again, which is... The woman just reaches forward and takes with a soft smile and with utmost grace and sincerity thanks you.
Oh, and one other thing. If you're heading out, there's a giant pit in the hallway. Really want to warn you about that before you get to it. Did y'all need help getting over that, or do you think you can take care of it? Because it's like in the floor. You can kind of scooch around the sides, but just wanted to give you a heads up here.
I suppose maybe we should take a look at it before... I'm doing the wrong voice. I suppose maybe we should take a look at it before we, let you run away in case we need some help here.
Yeah.
And they just sort of make their way out of this chamber, just moving you, Bree, so that we can see.
Sure.
And as soon as they sort of see all of the skeletons dead on the ground and the man that's dead there, they just sort of like hold a hand to their mouth and peer around as you sort of direct them towards that. And now you can see a 10 foot by 10 foot, like almost cubicle drop in the floor that is 20 feet deep. And the woman just sort of looks back at you and says, "Honey, I can't jump over that, and I'll be honest, I don't know when the last time it is I ate. Might need a little help getting out of there.
Yeah.
Is there another way out of here?"
Question. How tall are the doors? Can we use those as a bridge, maybe, if we pull from the wall?
The doors here are, let's say, probably about 8 feet tall. If you could find a way to, 7, 8 feet tall or so. If you could find a way to attach the two of them to each other, you might be able to bridge the gap, but one door would not quite get across.
I use magnesis.
Only I took welding in college.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Wait, don't you have raised earth?
Not to this degree.
Ah, shucks. Well, I guess we'll have to find another way out for these fine folks.
Now, we've got time here to sit and just recuperate a little bit. I mean, I'm not helpless. I see weapons on the ground here, and I see a jail cell for this poor unfortunate soul, and she sort of gives a solid kick in the ribs to the unconscious man on the ground.
Hell yeah.
I say we toss him in there and let us heal up a little bit, and maybe by the time you've done a little exploring, you can come back to us. But
sounds good.
We don't have to slow you up.
Can we leave them with food? I think we have.
Yeah, we have food, right?
Yeah.
You notice that at the mention of this, the woman does her absolute best not to look desperate, but just there's desperation in her eyes.
Yeah.
Can I also? I know this is less helpful, but remember Ripper, the saber-toothed kitten?
Mm-hmm.
Can I
He's been kind of chilling in your hood and just perched on top of your backpack most of the time.
He's a purse cat. I'm gonna I'm going to approach the kid that we saw in the cell earlier and just offer you want to hang out with the warm fuzzy friend until we come back. He's usually nice.
He just sort of takes what little bit of rags and holy it's no more than a muslin cloth that he's wearing for a shirt, and just sort of wipes his eyes with him and
yeah, okay.
gives a big wide-eyed nod and just sort of reaches his hand and takes the small cat and starts to pet it, and Ripper just sort of gives a little bit of a meow in protest. Later, you said you had something you want to say?
I have some rations. Can I give them some rations? I have yeah, cool. I'll give them, I guess, would one each suffice, or should I give them more? 'Cause they seem
One
like-
set of rations is 1 day's worth of food, so it's about 3 meals.
Oh, okay. So do you want me to just give them like one ration thing, or
Sure.
one?
Yeah.
Two.
I mean, if y'all are coming back, don't spare us more than you need.
Okay. One then. Here you go.
Go ahead and mark that off.
Yeah, I got plenty of these. So if we end up down here for a while, I can always come back and we can have ourselves a little picnic down here. Because
We could make bread with the bone dust.
honestly, I would prefer not to go over that pit again either. It didn't work out.
The blonde woman just sort of covers the ears of the small boy and just kind of like.
Yeah,
Like,
Last one looks over with like giant alien eyes.
we'll make it work. Don't worry.
the kid is like, is that what bread is made of?
Yeah, you can see there's some thought something like that is racing through his head right now. His eyes sort of darting back and forth. All right, as the group of women just sort of push one of the cell doors open and drag this man in there, slamming the door shut and then locking the padlock. The blonde woman, who has said little more than just meager weeping at this point, as soon as the door is shut, spits through the bars on the body of the man, and then just like goes over and sits down next to her son and begins to unpack the rations and share them with him.
All right.
Not to belabor any points, but can I rifle through the other Redbrand's cloaks?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
I suck. 4.
Digging through them, you find maybe 6 or 7 copper pieces, but there's not too much there.
And 3 health potions.
And a +3 singing sword.
Yeah. Oh, dang!
With that, the 2 women, a full 3 generations of a family, sit down and all sort of nod to you with their cheeks stuffed full of rations that aren't that delicious, but they seem to be loving them. What would you like to do?
Okay. Do we want to head out, gang, and check out the other hallway? Maybe take.
There was a storage room.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, there might be another way out ahead of us.
Yep. We now have a secondary mission. Find a way out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely want to go investigate that the like odd seam in the wall.
I know there was mention of an eyeball monster.
Yeah.
And that odd seam is against this wall here.
Opposite. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As you make your way up to check it out, go ahead and just make a simple investigation check for me, if you would, please. Oops.
All right.
And you do have as you face this section of the wall, you do have a door directly behind you as well. So
Yeah. Maybe.
That's fine. I'm just letting you know, so because I know it can be hard to see on this weird map, especially with your little circle covering it.
Sure.
With that check, as you go and sort of place your fingers along the wall, you give it a push, and there's a bit of a wobble, a bit of a give. The stones themselves are solid, but it seems like they are not attached to the same wall as the rest of the stones are.
I want to make sure we're ready before we go through that.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It feels like if you were to push on it hard enough, it would open like a door.
Right. Let's. Yeah, I'm gonna look back and like before we go anywhere else. I'm feeling pretty rough. I don't know how y'all are doing.
Not great.
Okay. Don't suppose anybody got a potion laying around?
I have 2.
I think we might want to hold on to those for. I think we might be able to get out of. I think that what's beyond there is only going to get bigger and longer.
Yeah.
And less chance for us to get it to escape.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm.
Yeah, I know.
One hit.
I know.
Okay.
That's why we're not going to go in
give
yet.
Why don't we give one potion to Bree since Bree is on death's doorstep? Can we do that?
That would be great.
Yes.
I would like to give one of my health potions to Bree.
I also have one if we need it. So
cool. Okay.
Are you just hanging on to that, or are you drinking that now?
I'm just gonna put it. I'm gonna have it in my inventory.
Okay, perfect.
Let's look in this storage room because we might find
right. Okay.
As you turn around and look towards the storage room door, just go ahead and head to open that up.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll peek in.
Okay. Are you trying to be quiet or anything like that, or are you just opening it up?
Yeah. I'll stealth it.
Okay, make your stealth check for me, please.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll with Tommy's dice because I just threw mine on the ground. Ooh. And rolling that one again.
Oh boy, not better.
Yeah, truly. Big. Oh,
I'm okay.
we're fine. It's fine.
Is everything okay over there?
It's a long way down and a long way up.
So what was your stealth check?
It was a stealth check of 9.
Okay. And then go ahead and as you reach forward to open the door, you grab the knob and it turns, but as you push the door, it seems like it is locked, and there is a small keyhole just above the doorknob.
Okay.
Can I try the keys that I got from that guy?
There was one key on there that worked for the jail cell, and there's another one that you haven't used yet.
I'll try the other one.
Okay. You try the other key, it fits in, it does not seem to work on this door. Hold both keys up and they look identical. It looks like there's 2 copies of the jail cell key on here.
These idiots. No, sorry. Does anyone have any other I'm going to try and pick the lock.
Go wild. Go for it.
So go ahead and just roll a d20. And are you proficient with thieves' tools?
I am.
Okay, so go ahead and make a sleight of hand check then, please. Are you proficient with sleight of hand? I think you are.
I am.
Okay, yeah. So just make a sleight of hand check.
Oh, all right. 23.
23.
22. Better.
This is a very rudimentary, clumsy lock. You managed to slip your thieves' tools in, wiggle them around, and it only has 1 tumbler or 2 to really be moved. And as you do it, you hear the door unlock and it swings open. You glance inside, you do see what looks to be a small closet that looks like an armory. There are racks of weapons here that line the walls, including spears, swords, crossbows, bolts for those crossbows, and then hanging on hooks right next to the door on the northern wall are about a dozen more of these red cloaks. The weapons here are extensive. There's a large armory here.
Right. I'm just for fun, I'm gonna just pick up the double-headed axe in there and just feel what it's like to hold it.
Oh, the big 2-handed one?
Yeah.
Okay. You do, and it requires the majority of your strength just to sort of get it off of the racks that hold it, and as you do it almost weighs you down, and you manage to wield it, but the idea of swinging it to you is laughable.
Sure.
That looks cool.
Yeah, one day. Looks really cool though. If you lift weights every day, I believe in you.
Maybe we could make that axe head into a helmet for you.
You can get them coming and going.
Yeah.
Oh,
1, 2, 3.
Oh boy.
Awesome. Man, I will. Do you think there might be any potions?
Let's look.
Let's look together.
All right, each of you make an investigation check for me, please.
All right. Ooh, this is better.
That was a lot.
I got a. Oh, sorry.
8.
Okay. Looking around.
Wait. Do you want? I had a 15.
15. Okay.
Yeah.
Looking around.
I got a 14.
Okay. 2, and then Ambrose, if you want to, why not? Negative
Oh
40.
yeah, I got a 14 as well.
14. Okay.
Super.
Looking around,
Yeah.
there is, as far as you can tell, a very wide variety of weapons. Most of them simple, a few of them martial, but you don't see anything that looks like a healing potion. It is mostly just a limited selection of arms. There's some very basic armor. None of it looks like it really improves on anything you're already wearing, but there are options here if you want variety in any of the weapons that you wield.
Bree, are you good at any other weapon?
What does strike you as strange is the number of arms here. I mean, with at least 3 or 4 of each of these objects and a wide variety of them, this is enough for a lot more than you've seen. This would be enough to arm almost the entire town of Phandalin.
This is a big operation for a small town.
Yeah. Unusually big.
I mean, and there were skeletons and then more Redbrands. I just feel like I would have thought that, the Redbrands would, and then we'd see skeletons deeper in. But it's just, they're working together with the skellies.
Or they have somebody talented enough in magic that they can set up skeleton traps.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to guess that the Redbrands know about Wave Echo Cave too, and if they don't already know where it is, they're at least on the trail.
Yeah. Makes me worry for those dwarf brothers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the Redbrands know more about the dwarf brothers than they're letting on.
Maybe. Well, can we break all this stuff if we're not going to take it?
True.
Great idea.
Just saying.
Really? Great idea. Yeah.
Right. So,
can Ambrose just run wild? Throwing shit.
You want to music video destroy this and disrespect your surroundings?
Yeah.
Weird Matt and Kim music video.
I will say you would definitely be able to knock things around and slam them around a bunch. You might be able to break some of the wooden halves of some of the weapons, maybe dent or mar the blades of some of the things, but doing that to this number of arms by hand is going to take you a minute.
Can I just set it on fire?
Oh my god. Whoa, no.
Put a trap down here. That's a bad idea.
There's a child in the next room.
Listen, why don't we
that'll
table
create
this
attention,
idea?
so.
Put a pin in it. These weapons aren't going to get up and walk away. We can come back and wreck their shit on the way out.
Glass, do you know how to relock a door? You seem
Yes.
talented with these tools.
Oh wait, no, I don't have the key. No, I do not. I was like, yeah, you put the key back in, lock it.
I would say that given your proficiency with thieves' tools, you would know how to, with enough dexterity, be able to sort of flip the lock back over to where it was locked again.
I wanna go out to that. I'll go out to the woman, the one who we've spoken most with,
Myrna.
Sure, yeah.
And I'm just gonna, just quickly tell her we found arms. If you want arms.
She's kind of in the middle of still stuffing her face with rations. Says, "Well, I mean, hell yeah! If you got arms, I mean, I assume
your
we're
point.
still." Shit, I don't know. Just give me a sword. I'll be happy.
Did y'all decide that you're gonna head on in deeper? We're waiting here for sure.
Oh, is that what we decided? I don't know. But I'll go get
we're
your
gonna,
I'll get
we're gonna
your
go searching for another exit out of here that's safer for all of us.
All right.
Yeah. We could also.
I mean, I know it's a pain in the ass, and I apologize, but if you help us across that pit, I'm pretty sure we can make it back on our own. Or
Okay.
I mean,
do you want to try that? I mean,
made a chance it, but y'all
Yeah.
looking a little rough. Maybe you got some magic up your sleeve I don't know about, but
Not, the sleeves are pretty. It's like a linen.
pretty
It's
thin.
thin.
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down, Myrna, and y'all.
she just kind of holds out a chunk of rations to you. Come on, honey, you look skinny.
Short. You're confusing the dimensions. But making a small retreat and resting up somewhere safe, and living to fight another day might not be the worst idea.
I think we know where we're going, but I think we might be able to find out a little bit more about what's down there, and also not die.
yeah, not dying would probably be a wise move.
Yeah. I think what I was trying to say before, I think we might need those healing potions later.
Sure.
When we could use we could still catch our breath now, and we might not be able to do that later.
Mm-hmm.
Did we want to wait here with Myrna and Co. for a little bit?
Or do we want to try to get over the pit back there?
I think I think we take back to the pit, get back to our room, and sleep safely.
Yeah, that's probably even better.
It's what Ambrose is currently worried about is considering the amount of arms in that room, the amount of Redbrand that might be in here. It's only a matter of time before somebody notices that.
Well, are we sure there are a lot of Redbrand in here, or is this just a weapons stockpile for enchantment in Weebecker Cave?
Regardless, it may be better to just retreat anyway.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna face a lot more of them either way.
Yeah. So, how are we getting across this pit?
How big are those coffins? Could we toss some in and use them to crawl across?
I mean, if I'm using the dimensions that are on the screen, yeah, the lids are stone and they're about 10 feet long.
Coffin bridge.
Coffin bridge.
Coffin
It's a little
bridge.
grim, but we all grab a corner. Come on.
Yeah. Let's be pallbearers.
Just saying.
Shit.
Yeah, we do. They're like the dance.
Yeah.
I need 2 of you to make strength or athletics checks for me, please, in order to do this. For one of them, and that will, let me pull you guys down to where you can see.
Well, I'll say 2 things. One, I have many good qualities besides being strong, which is not one of them. And 2, we should pick 2 people of relatively similar heights.
I know.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can lift things, but I worry that it's going to be awkward with me.
Yeah.
I can try.
I don't know. I think it might be.
I'm just gonna say it. I feel like the shorts have put in a lot of work today.
Yeah, come on, Glass. Let's show Team Short what Team Tall can do.
Yeah.
Let's watch these rockets take off.
Okay. So the 2 of you go ahead and make strength or athletics checks for me, please.
Show me how swole you are.
Yeah, I'll do an athletics check.
Oh dear, that's a 3.
13.
Okay. Thankfully,
1,
these-
2, 3.
You do manage to slide the entire thing. You begin tipping it almost at a diagonal angle off of the surface from where it is placed on the wall. And as it begins to tip, you
Oleander, you momentarily lose control of it and starts to tip faster, and Glass, you sort of rush up and get underneath it, and it is falling and it's about to crush your fingers. What do you guys want to do?
I try to get back under there, try to keep it from crushing Glassy Milk's fingers.
Okay, one more strength or athletics check from each of you, really fast, as you try to prevent this. It's falling, but you can slow it.
No.
That's a nat one.
Myrna?
7.
As both of you try to rush your fingers under there, Oleander, you shove your hands under, then see it's about to fall and just pull back. There's something about the idea of getting your fingers crushed flat. And Glass, you do the same thing and barely jump out of the way. The stone lid does hit the ground and then begins to crumble. And does turn to stone on the ground. That's just unfortunate rolls on that one.
Anyway,
but you have 2 more lids.
Yeah.
Did I do it?
Hey, Bree. Maybe we should put in a little bit more work to show Team Tall what they're dealing with.
Yeah, let's give it a try. This is.
I'm gonna inspire my friends to do the lifting. Do that lifting. Do that.
There you go.
Lifting.
That's a good use of that.
Out of here.
Who would you like to inspire?
Actually, no one, but I will inspire Ambrose.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, awesome. So you have a bardic inspiration die.
Okay.
As the two of you move your way over to the other of these two, go ahead and make your strength or athletics checks. If you would like to use that bardic inspiration on this, Ambrose, you can also roll a d6 and add that to the roll.
Okay. Do I do that at the same time as I roll my d20?
No, after you roll, you can decide.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do it after you roll, but before I tell you if that roll is good or bad.
Okay. Gonna use that. Ooh, I got a.
And then Bree, you're also assisting Ambrose, correct?
Yeah, I got a
strength
12.
or athletics check as well. 12, and then for you, Ambrose?
I got a 21.
Whoa!
Damn!
Okay, as you make your way over this time, you attempt the same motion of sort of taking this large thing and turning it on its corner and very slowly lowering it to the ground. And as you do, Bree, you move up and begin to tip, and it starts to tip. And as soon as it sort of reaches that point where it starts to fall, Ambrose, you just get under it and bend your knees and lift with your legs. And you catch it and you just very carefully lower it to the ground. The rest of you watch muscles bulge in Ambrose's arms, and the entire thing just sort of lowers to the ground, and a small poof of dust sort of circles up from around it. Ambrose, you
Wrong.
off your hands. It is down, and from this angle, now that it is sideways, it would be very easy for you to sort of drag it over into place.
I turn to Glass. We gotta bring it for Team Tall next time. That is sad.
Let it be known that I helped this second time around too. Okay. My work might not be visible to all of you, okay, but I am helpful. All
I
right?
was inspired by that beat.
We got into that room full of weapons we don't need because of me. Okay.
Soft skills.
Well, I did some good.
Don't just happen.
Just gonna start dragging this coffin cover over.
Okay. Not too hard. I'm going to make you guys roll for every one of these, and I just wanted to get at least one success and make sure the party could do it. And the next time around will be easier to be able to do so. You grab this sort of coffin lid, and you're able to, if I can, draw it over here, just sort of position it sideways here in the hallway. Color here so you can actually see what I'm doing. Sideways here, the hallway, and then slide it forward on those two railings that you had sort of traversed off before, wherein sort of making just a couple of small, maybe 2.5 foot gaps that are much easier to step across once you sort of push it into the middle of that.
Doable.
Leaving yourself with a pretty simple way to cross this pit that you had dealt with before.
All right.
And in doing so, as it sort of slides into place and slams, you see a bunch of the sort of dust drip down from the bottom of it into the bottom of that dark pit. Oleander, you shudder, remembering what it's like down there, and the rest of you are now in a position to help Myrna and her daughter and grandson across.
All right. Okay, everybody.
Alley-oop.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's.
Okay, so the
So,
goal
do we
is...
want to head all the way back into Phandalin?
I mean, yeah, I thought that was the idea.
I thought we were going back.
Beds, then gear up for another excursion down into the bowels beneath this haunted mansion, as it were.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I think we should check the door as we're going into the next room, though, just to see if we hear anyone coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. As you make your way sort of around, helping, making your way across the pit, and then helping Myrna and her daughter and grandson across, you make it sort of to the area where that open sort of stone archway, the mason archway, leads under that set of stairs into the next chamber. Who is leading that, and who wants to make that check to see what's going on in the next room?
I can.
Sure, thank you. Just go ahead and make a perception check for me if you would, as you make your way up to the edge and just barely glance around the corner.
Don't fucking embarrass me. Please. You've had your fun.
Can I assist?
You may also make one if you would like to.
Okay. That's going to be a 7 from me.
7. You peer around and look into the next chamber. Despite your dark vision, it is still dark in there. You had snuffed out all of the lights that were in there prior when you had done your battle with the Redbrands, and you brought that torch with you. So it's hard to see. But listening, you don't hear anything. Ambrose, what'd you roll?
Oh, I rolled a 5.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think you even have dark vision, so you just sort of look in there, do that thing where you try to evolve really fast when you're like coming out of the bathroom at night. And you're just like, if I open my eyes really wide, I can see in the dark.
That's right.
But unfortunately, yeah, it's hard to see. It's dark in there. But you do have this family at your back who is eager to leave. What would you like to do?
Should we head forward, weapons drawn, maybe?
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you ready your weapons and make your way forward. Who is leading as you make your way into the next room?
Do like a magic.
I'm gonna touch Bree and say, just in case, and cast Cure Wounds.
Go ahead and roll for that. See how much HP Bree gets back.
6 health.
All right, that's that good stuff.
And then who is leading the charge into this next room?
I will.
There we go.
Freshly healed, you watch as some of the wounds on Bree knit, and where dried blood and scabs were at one point, the dried blood just kind of flakes off and falls to the ground. Your skin smooth underneath where the cuts were. You edge forward into this next room, keeping an eye out. Do you have any sort of a light source?
Yeah, at the threshold, I'll light my torch.
Okay. Yeah, you light your torch and look around, and as you make your way into this chamber, it is as silent as it was when you last left it, although in the sort of northwestern corner, the frozen bits of whomsoever it was that was shattered and frozen and broken into 1,000 pieces have long since thawed and are now sort of strewn apart as these strange, like, meaty chunks of bone and gristle and flesh and much blood that sort of like pooled around each of these chunks. It's a strange sight.
I didn't know that did that.
Don't
I thought it just
torch over
disappeared.
there when the family's crossing through. That's gross.
Yeah.
As you make your way into this chamber, you do not see any perceivable threats, and the door that you had left open into the sort of barracks area is also open the way that you had left it.
Okay. Boy. Yeah.
As I come in and see that, I'm gonna turn around the little kid. And the mom would just go, yeah, like motioning to her to like cover up,
She'll just sort of take her son's head and just turn it and like sort of bury it in her side and be like, yes, Ira or Oleander.
Oh, don't worry about it. I changed my mind. I'm not going to use magic for this. That would be stupid.
As you all make your way up, leading the folks up out of the basement beneath Tresendar Manor and up into the air above. I believe you had come in here at 9 a.m. You did a little bit of battle. You took a long rest. Short rest. I would say now as you exit and you are facing to the east, you can see just the very beginning vestiges of twilight on the horizon, and as you sort of turn around, you can see the large dilapidated stone face of Tresendar Manor sort of looming in front of you, and you sort of help your friends out of the basement entrance there. Beyond Tresendar Manor, the skyline is beginning to turn the colors of the sunset, and you can see the sort of horizon of broken mountains and jagged pine trees is rapidly going from landscape into just pure silhouette with a sort of light behind it. It's cool, relatively calm outside, and the nighttime will soon be upon you. Where would you like to go?
Did we want to take this family back to their home to make sure?
Yeah, let's escort them back to where they live first before going back to where we are lodging.
I don't know if they have a home, guys.
Do
they?
She said she still had a house.
No, Sugar, we still got our house. Just, I mean,
let's
Oh, I misunderstood you.
Yeah.
And then we'll get on our way.
Trust me,
Agreed.
I think we can find our own way, but
Okay, for sure.
It's good to be sure.
I think for the night being, we might stay with some neighbors or something. Just
okay.
I mean, they've been to our house. They took us from there before. They know where we live.
All
Not
right.
too keen on putting ourselves back in
Yeah.
that sort of danger.
Yeah.
I get that.
Well, again, if you run into any more trouble, just write a note and fold that business card into it and throw it into a fire anywhere, and it'll get to me, okay? And we can.
Awesome.
It's my Hotmail on there, and
Can you?
The blonde woman sort of picks up and sits the boy in the crook of her arm, and he just sort of grabs that ragged shirt that he's wearing and sort of tucks it into his mouth, and around it he just sort of marks like a thank you, and just sort of chews on his shirt a little bit, and then the woman holding him just says, "We owe you more than we can say."
no sweat.
They just sort
Glad
of
we can help you out here in some small way.
I'm gonna just take the cat back from the kid.
Oh yeah, I'll say Ripper is probably just trailing along behind them. Pick Ripper up, he sort of like curls up on your shoulder and like nuzzles into the side of your face, purrs a little bit.
Oh,
that's right. Nothing bad will ever happen to you.
Ain't no terrible tragedy gonna happen today.
Not to this cat, no how. Okay, as you now stand sort of on the hill of Tresendar Manor, you make your way down the hill, sort of not so much guiding, but just walking with the family that you had freed. You make your way back down into town, and now you can see ahead of you is sort of the large inn. You've got all of the other buildings and residences of the town. Do you want to explore, or do you want to just go straight to the inn?
I would like to go to the inn. I don't know about everybody else, but
Yeah.
I am covered in skeleton dust, so
I get like bone pieces out of its clothing.
and I guess we should probably wash off the evidence of us murdering several people. So we should probably go clean up this.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to have a drink.
Yeah, fresh
I'm
out
gonna
and
do
enjoy the town's delightful local nightlife.
All right. You make your way over to the inn, and pushing through the sort of swinging double doors, you can hear the sort of cheerful music of the saloon from inside. It is now, as twilight begins to settle upon Phandalin, the interior is a bright, welcoming, warm orange glow that sort of spills out onto the porch that sits in front of it with its various horse tie-ups and at least one local that seems to be just sort of sitting out chewing some sort of tobacco-like product on the front porch. The doors swing open, you make your way into the saloon. That's scary music. Let's just play scary music in the saloon. Set everyone on edge.
It's a tavern full of ghosts!
Oh no! Skeletons are here! It's just where they hang out when they're not being skeletons!
Guys!
Inside, and immediately the smell of cooked meat and steamed vegetables and various grilled foods and fresh baked bread hits your nostrils, and all of you, for the first time today, realize how truly starving you are after the day's adventures. What would you like to do?
I'm going to get something to eat and something to drink.
Hell yes. Sounds fantastic.
Ready. Make your way. Are you going to the bar or going to one of the tables?
Go to the tables.
Yeah, let's get a booth. Let's get a booth.
This small this sort of smaller human red-headed woman with her hair kind of pulled back in a braid. She has a bandana sort of on top of that and a very plain apron on top. Just makes her way over to you. Says, Y'all doing all right? Can I get you something?
No and yes.
Yes, please. Judge a book by its cover here. Yeah, what can I fetch for you?
Yeah. You got ale?
Got ale.
Yeah.
We'll take 4 of the, whatever the dinner special is, and 4 ales, please.
All right, that's 4 ales for you. Just kidding, that's a little joke I like to do. So 4 ales around the table.
That's a good one.
Oh, yeah. I'll be right back with that, and she just sort of like curtsies and shuffles off and makes her way over to the bar where you can see she sort of speaks to Toblin, the man who had originally sold you the rooms and established the bar itself. You're alone at the table for no more than a minute or two when she comes back with a few mugs, all of them wooden with a hardy head on the top of all of them of foam, sort of puts them down on the table in front of you and says, is there anything else that I can get for y'all?
We'll let you know. But thank you. Do you want to pay up now, or should I go to the register after we're done?
Oh, I mean, we can just stick it on your rooms. Y'all are staying here, yeah?
Yeah, that works.
All right, yeah, no problem with that. We'll stick it on your tab.
Brilliant. Thank you.
If you don't mind me asking, y'all kind of look like the adventuring type. You look like you've done some adventures today.
Yeah, we were just playing in the sand. We'd like to take long hikes. Sometimes in the,
Bree
in the blood.
Just like Bree's just million yards staring into the distance.
It's not blood. It's called cat's up. It might be a new regional cuisine. Don't worry about it. We're messy eaters. Lunch was wild.
I'll look at her and I'll say, it'll be a great story, but not right now.
Oblivious to you entirely and just sort of like seemingly focused on her own whatever agenda this girl might have. She's, I don't really get to see many y'all adventures around here all that often, as all of you just sort of like there's Darren that works out at the orchard. I mean, she was an adventurer for a little while, and then Tamora knows how long. He's been there just since after Carp was born, and she just, at that point, sort of looks at the group and.
Anything else you want to say, ma'am?
That's extremely cool, and I'm very interested. but we are unfortunately very, very tired right now. I would love to talk to you more about that fascinating subject later.
All right. I can take a hint when I see one. I'm good with people.
You are. Thank you. I promise I'm not trying to be rude. You seem delightful, and I definitely do want to hear about other adventurers in the area. That is information relevant to my interests.
Well, y'all know where to find me. And she just sort of curtsies again and makes her way over, and you can hear just subtly under her breath like a But now you are alone at your table with your cold mugs of ale.
Wow.
Thanks for backing me up on that one, folks.
You're the people person.
I am trying to be. The problem is I'm the only people person.
I like people. Well,
you like
people. I like people. I don't know what I think.
Heavy are the shoulders that, you know.
You want to finish that thought, Ambrose?
No, I don't. How large is this mug of ale compared to Amber's bed?
I have pints.
Where's my little? It's like one of these. It's like a.
Oh, okay.
My water jug.
Okay. Just kind of dunks most of his face directly in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
Pop back up. The whiskers on your face all have like a nice sort of almost like a Santa Claus style foam to them.
Should ask for
Ooh, that looks good on you.
Thanks. If only I could grow this much hair.
You're going to look very distinguished when you get older.
Thank you.
As you all sit delirious and exhausted from the day's event, is there anything that you want to discuss or talk about as you finish your drinks?
I'm kind of curious as now, Bree, like, you know, I'm a big believer in, coming from where I grew up, I'm a big believer in second chances. I'm not going to judge you because you've done so much for us and you've been so helpful and you seem like a really good person, but it seems like you, like when you worked with the Redbrands, what did you do? And what was that about your family back there?
I mean, not to put you on the spot.
You don't have to answer now. I'm just.
Well, I'd say it was less like I worked with Redbrands and more like you work with me and my friends.
Sorry, just gonna say I've got a connection issue on my end,
Yeah,
so I'm
you're
not
coming
sure
through
I'm
really
reaching you.
garbled.
I know that if it's bad on my end, it's bad for all the streamers, so I don't know what's going on.
Uh-oh.
No, it's bad on our end too. I don't know what's
This was too emotionally heavy of a question to ask.
The emotions destroyed our Discord connection.
Here. Oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh, Leander, what did you do?
I'm sorry. I didn't
Folks,
think
it
she
looks
was
like we
like
might have a
it.
little bit of a connection issue, so we will just do our best to sit it out, and if for whatever reason we do have to take a break, we will be back as soon as we can. We are kind of close to our normal ending time, so we'll give it several minutes and just see what we can do, and in the meantime...
Oh, sorry. Please. No, it's nothing important. I was just going to goof off with Ambrose, but you can...
No, by all means, yeah. We can keep it going. Y'all can talk for a little while. That sounds great.
Okay. So, Ambrose, while we, I don't want to make it seem like Bree's on the spot here. So, how'd you learn to do the headbutt thing? I really haven't seen many satyrs, even out in BG City, which is a pretty cosmopolitan area.
I mean, it comes part and parcel with having large horns and growing up with a large family. You generally quite literally and metaphorically lock horns with people, so you know.
I'm going to ask you a very strange question right now.
I'll give you a strange answer. He's like 3/4 like into this mug.
Could you teach me how to do that?
Oh, the headbutting thing?
Yes. I was blessed with these beautiful tapers up here,
Yeah.
but they're mostly for show. If I could use them to get any edge at all, I mean, maybe that could come in handy.
I think you could do it. The height might be an interesting challenge, but I'd be willing to show you sometime how I usually do it.
I would love to learn more on how you use your head to great effect.
Boy, I just feel like I was.
So sorry. I'm so sorry.
I really zoned out there. What are you guys talking about?
Oh, I'm going to teach Oleander how to use their horns to hurt people.
Ooh.
We never did it growing up. The horns are. I usually kept my horns all nice and polished up, moisturized. It was a glamour thing. Sometimes we paint them on holidays. It was super nice, but out here, I'm entering a different story.
I mean, we polish ours, but they're mostly for pain.
Yeah. So, anyways, Bree, you don't have to answer those questions earlier if you don't want to.
You seem like you burst out a little bit.
Bring you here, and I'm sorry if I offended you enough to make you uncomfortable.
Well, I would say it was less that I worked with the Redbrands and more that they worked with me and my friends. And, well, the Alliance wasn't exactly my idea.
Oh. I see. Well, I'm glad that we have somebody in our group who knows a little bit about them. That's better than just going in blind. And I'm sorry that you've had to deal with that. If there's anything we can do to help out your whatever fate your friends are in, let us know.
Even if it's holding somebody's head up so that you can hit them more.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've already proven that we can do that.
That was a great team bonding experience, really, honestly.
I
feel some synergy going on here tonight, you know? I feel really valid in this tavern tonight.
Yeah, Oleander, you really came through with the hits tonight.
Yeah, I'm not good at a lot of things. I recognize that, but I'm good at dealing out magic and dealing out bitches.
Did you?
It's less so. Also lifting things apparently, but we're working on it.
Was fighting a part of your private school education that I assume you had?
I was but yeah, it was never a dull moment around the old Rue household.
I have no trouble believing that.
Always had to watch my back.
Yeah. Sounds stressful.
Yeah. So Glass, how about you?
How's it going, Glass?
Yeah. You really helped out a lot. I don't know if we could have pulled it together without your bardic inspirations and I'm glad to see you're getting that crossbow action in. That's very exciting.
Yeah, you thought I shot that guy?
It was
pretty cool.
That was cool. It felt good to hit the thing I aimed at.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I mean, you haven't practiced, so.
I'm just still messed up on that guy's attitude. Just, talking about the slave trade like it's every day to him. I just didn't know that there was people like that, I think.
I think maintaining a sense of business as usual can cause people to not question a lot. I think that once you get used to the way things work, you start to paper over the bad stuff and just kind of assume that it's normal. I don't know.
Trying to figure out how to be ready for a person like that, for people like that, without expecting it, without thinking that that's the way that people are.
Well, you can't. Yeah, that's. I wish I had some better advice, but that is some heavy shit, Glass.
We were all there.
Takes the last of his mug and like swings his legs. I can't like reach the floor. And says like, sometimes you take the hits as they come, and you can't be prepared for everything.
Yeah. You gotta learn to trust people because they'll, what else? I don't know. I had a weird upbringing. Don't listen to me.
Me too.
I just sort of, take a long sip and glance around furtively.
I lived in the mountains. I don't know what's going on. Trees and stuff.
Yeah. How much have you traveled away from home, Ambrose?
You just
pretend to continue drinking.
You just make little noises like a squeaky door.
Yeah.
That's not an answer. That's just
I've been to places.
Hither and yon.
Yeah,
I got an idea, guys. If we don't want to answer something, we can just drink.
That's what I've been doing already, friend.
I'm learning quickly. Should we get more?
Oh yeah.
We should make this a habit.
Just raising our hands, waving.
With almost a degree of serendipity that surprises all of you. This time, instead of the barmaid, the bartender himself makes his way over to your table and sets down 4 more mugs. Says, "Listen, I know a hard day when I've seen one. These ones are on me."
Thank you so much.
And,
we appreciate it.
Just give us a couple minutes, else we'll be out with some food for you too, because you could probably use it.
Thank you.
He sort of nods and makes his way back
It's
over to
been-
the bar.
Yeah. Man, I'm staying here every time I come through this town. This is great. Fantastic.
I think it's the only place that has food.
Yeah, I think it's the only place in this town.
I can't wait for someone to invent the concept of Yelp so I can give them 5 stars.
The noise that dogs make?
Glass has a Syrian headache as he tries to understand.
Awesome.
Drink.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing Bree sitting there being like, awesome.
Cool.
That's
All
right.
As you sit and drink some more, and eventually your dinner comes, and it's really, really good. Almost enough, if you were weaker, to bring you to tears, having not eaten for most of the day since your hearty breakfast, and being thoroughly exhausted. You, not politely, work it all down, and for those of you interested in the 3rd round, you are served it without any sort of sideways glance. With empty plates in front of you and several empty mugs, been maybe an hour or two of just sort of sitting, resting, imbibing, chatting for a little bit. Anything else that you guys want to talk about or discuss before you head to bed for the evening?
Nothing to discuss. I will just say that after the meal and sitting for a bit longer, I will kind of just make my way to a corner and pull out the horn, and not like no dancing on the tables or anything like that, but just play a little, music, and just kind of wind my night down that way.
It's. Do you want to describe the sort of mood that the music?
Yeah,
evokes?
kind of like if you imagine. I guess I was imagining kind of like a like a calm jazz bar with like a trumpet with like a little mute in it. That kind of just like sitting around, just making something pleasant, not really asking for attention.
Outside of the tactical advantages class, you're really good at trumpet.
Thanks.
Just for the hell of it, go ahead and make a performance check for me if you would.
All right.
Oh God, we're gonna one. I'm gonna cut my Ethernet cord and say we don't know it.
I mean, it seems like it's been cut and your Wi-Fi picks it up anyways. So.
Yeah. Let me see here. Damn it. It's a 10.
10?
Neither good nor bad.
It is precisely that. It is neither good nor bad. It is equal measure to the sort of discordant and out of tune old piano that was being played well, but the instrument itself was not fantastic. This, in a similar fashion, is a hour or more of a trumpet solo, soft as it may be. It's good, but it's a man in a bar with a trumpet.
Remember when you said that was just for fun? It made it less fun.
I'm sorry.
Level 2.
Good.
That's my job as the DM, is just to make sure that nobody has any fun.
Too much fun. Yeah. Truly. Yeah. Bree is going to. I'm gonna nurse a third round and just listen to Glass's song and drift in and out.
Surprisingly enough,
that's what it's called.
By round 3, it's starting to sound pretty good.
Hey, all right. This is a small town, baby.
That's right.
Ambrose, during all of this, what are you up to?
Ambrose is like fully sobbing into his mug and is like, I love music so much. He's so good.
There, Andy.
He's like wiping like the snot away with his giant hat. Like truly disgusting.
Oh, baby. Honey.
I imagine the big hat is like flapping in and out with the sauce.
Oh no!
That's the cutest thing, and I want a gif of that so bad. And then Oleander, I assume you're comforting Ambrose. Anything else for you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm comforting him.
Thank you.
I feel like that's a good sort of end of the night scene to wrap up on here for the evening. Unless there's anything like in private anybody wants to discuss before the night's rest. All right. So as you play for a little while, drink for a little while longer, you all eventually make your way up to bed and curl up and sleep very, very soundly. Everybody can go ahead and log in a long rest on their character sheets, and we will pick up from there next Wednesday at 7 p.m. here. So thank you to everybody who's been here with us through, holy shit, that's 6 episodes now, y'all. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's like,
all right.
We've made like 18 hours of internet content, y'all.
Content.
But yeah, thank you so much for everybody who's been here. We will be back again next week, same time, same place. I would like to go ahead and just really fast read off some of the donations for the evening just before we leave. And huge thank you to everybody who's been here, who's followed us, who's spread the word about it, brought friends, all that kind of stuff. Please do so. We'd appreciate it. And we do appreciate it. But for our first donation of the evening, a very big and very generous $250 from Webster Leone.
Hey,
Wow.
Who has been in
Webster,
here keeping it busy in chat the whole time, and being just in general a delight to have here. Thank you. The note with that donation is thank you all for a wonderful pick-me-up. Each episode has been the highlight of that week. Y'all are great, and I'm happy to return the favor in supporting a good cause. Love y'all. I love you too. Thank you.
It's going to go towards helping a lot of people. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you. And then we're short on total donors, but absolutely not short on the amount. Our other donation tonight is $100 from Spirit Paw that says, I really appreciate what y'all are doing. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Spirit Paw. That
you.
means a whole lot.
Appreciate you. Thank you for coming every time, and I'm really glad that you've been able to I hope that you're enjoying some of the books that you've won in the past. But yeah, that's it for our donations for the night. Yeah, anything anybody else wants to talk about before we're done for the evening?
Y'all are an awesome audience. Thanks for coming here every week and joining the adventure with us.
For real.
Yeah, and happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Everybody, please have a very, very safe Christmas or holiday season or whatever it is that you celebrate. If you're seeing people, just be careful, be safe. If you can't, remember that you got friends and people that you can always reach out to and talk to online and everything. And we'll be here next Wednesday for you, and we've got our whole backlog of episodes if you missed anything on YouTube to keep you company through whatever sort of maybe trips to your family's house or whatever you may have, and lots of quiet moments. So thank you all. We love you a bunch, and we'll see you next week.
Have a good night.
Thanks, y'all.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.